Bobby Bowden going for number 3. Bob Stoops going for number 1. Tim Duncan about set to go to the football. 67th FedEx Orange Bowl and a packed house in Miami. We're underway. Tallman Gardner 5 yards deep will take a knee, and Florida State will work from the 20 behind their senior quarterback Chris Winkie, who knows that his team has a chance to make history tonight.
There's an opportunity that lies ahead of us for this football team to make history, and we all know that we're part of a living dynasty right now. For the last 13, 14 years, we've been the most successful program in the country. But to win back-to-back championships would be very special.
It begins on this snap. First down, Florida State. Opening play of the ball game. They'll start in the eye with Travis Miner at the tail. Play fake. Winkie goes out to a wide open Trues Bell at midfield. Slips, keeps his footing, and cuts to the 44-yard line of Oklahoma. Just like that, 36 yards on the first play.
Well, these teams have had nearly a month to prepare, and Mark Richt comes out firing. He wanted to get Bell on Thompson. A little play action out of the I formation. Against Florida, their last game, they ran a lot of plays. They hold the safety that was Ante Jones, number 11. Behind Thompson, they hit the post corner.
And a first down already in Sooner territory. Now they go to the ground at Travis Miner. And Miner got only about a yard. Chris Winkie with 1 completion and 1 toss tonight, and he's had a lot of both as we check our FedEx lineup. Chris Winkie, there's the numbers on him. 33 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards, and looking for his 33rd victory in 35 outings as a starter. Phenomenal numbers.
And a national championship on his resume also.
Not to mention the Heisman Trophy. Second down at 8. He'll work from the gun.
Here they come.
Oklahoma with their first blitz. They flare it out. Anquan Bolden. Did he make the catch? The ball is loose. And a big hit put out there by Ante Jones. Jones a starter tonight because of the spread offense of Florida State. Normally he'd be the nickelback.
Yeah, he is a nickelback. Normally Roy Williams, the strong safety, now playing linebacker. 5 backs in the game. Ante Jones, a senior from right here in Miami, shakes the ball loose.
That was a catch and a fumble. As Bob said, shook it loose, and it went out of bounds at the 45. So it's a full 3rd down and 10. Florida State 44% on the year on their 3rd down conversions.
Everybody's still a little bit nervous.
Oklahoma showed blitz, backed out of it. Winkie flares out in the flat to Miner, who makes a sensational catch, but he's only going to get about 2 yards because Michael Thompson was there to meet him.
Just good defense. Miner is the 2nd leading receiver on the team, but with the suspension of Snoop Minnis, he is the leading receiver coming into this ball game.
So they gave up a big play on the first play of the ball game, and then the Sooner defense stiffened, and they force a Keith Cottrell punt. And that's a dangerous J.T. Thatcher back waiting on it. Cottrell will kick from about the 45. And a nice high kick is going to force a fair catch by Thatcher, and he makes it, having to dive forward. And a penalty marker on the play. There might have been somebody down there in that halo trying to back out of the way. I think Travis Smith got down there, tried to put the brakes on, and then Thatcher had to dive forward to make the catch. Let's get the call from Dick Hunter.
Interference with the opportunity, violation of the 2-yard belt on the kicking team. 5 yards from the catch, first down.
So that gives Oklahoma a little more room to work. Bob and Mike Stoops there, talking things over with Michael Thompson, who made a nice tackle on Travis Miner on that opening series. Josh Heupel will bring out the Sooner offense, and they'll work from the 22-yard line. Much like Florida State, Oklahoma with no huddle. They came straight off the field, straight to the line of scrimmage. Jumping off sides, it appears, as Florida State. The pass is incomplete, intended in the flat out there for Quentin Griffin. Looked like David Warren got down there and got a head start at left defensive end for Florida State, but we'll wait and see.
Unless one of the offensive line moved, but he looked like he jumped.
Offside, defense, 5 yards, remains first
So back-to-back penalties against the Noles. Josh Heupel, everybody knows, I guess, about his story from almost nowhere to the spotlight. There's his numbers, and he finished number 2 in the Heisman balloting, Player of the Year in the Big 12.
Certainly the last couple of years, he's got to be a Cinderella story. Came from, like you said, nowhere to leading a team to the national championship game.
On a 1st and 5, they'll keep it on the ground to Luttrell, the fullback, and he pinballs his way for about 3 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd down and short. FedEx starting lineups. Here's the big uns up front. They call them the grunts of Mangino. Romero and Duncan, Burcham, Skinner, and Kempenick. Romero against Reynolds will be a good matchup. That's one to watch tonight. The running backs and linebacker, Quentin Griffin already dropped the path. Luttrell just carried the last one. Trent Smith's the tight end. Woolfolk and Fagan, 2 of about 5 receivers we'll see filtered through the offense for Oklahoma. That's Jamal Reynolds, who is one of the top sack artists in all of college football. On a 2nd and 3. Heupel pumps, pulls it down, and goes down. They stuff him in the middle of the field, and a loss of about 5.
Florida State had tight man coverage all over the field. There was no place to dump the football. Reynolds, number 58 at the top of your screen, is going to come around and catch him from behind. That's the defensive line we talked about in the opening. They just create havoc, and Florida State gets it done with those front 4 allowing the back 7 to cover.
On a 3rd down and 8 now. Sooners backed up just outside their own 24-yard line. Heupel from the gun. Josh fires, and it is almost intercepted. If Chris Hope could have held on to that, he probably would have taken it about 25 yards for a touchdown.
3-man rush, drop it 8, and he almost picked it off. Double coverage. He read it all the way. Heupel throwing the ball over, almost picked off by Chris Hope.
Jeff Ferguson now to punt. Cleavon Thomas is back deep for Florida State. The Noles should get good field position out of this. High snap. Ferguson. The kick will back Thomas up to the 31. And he takes the fair catch right there. So the Seminoles have it for the 2nd time tonight, this time at their own 31-yard line. Pretty good replicas there of the Heisman and the Sears Trophy. Not sure it'd be my choice of headgear, but it looked good. Travis Minor on the handoff, and off the right side, got out across the 35. Almost the 36-yard line. J.T. Thatcher made the stop. Here's the big eaters up front in the FedEx starting lineup for Florida State. Williams, Amon, Moon, Holland, and Sharon Dorsey. Travis Minor, their leading running back for 4 straight years. Golightly's the fullback. Sprague, the tight end when they have one in there. Morgan and Atruz Bell, part of about a 6 wide receiver group for Florida State.
This offense was built for the quarterback and the wide receivers.
2nd down and 6. Wacky was 3 for 3 on the opening drive. Comes up firing here and had it batted down at the line of scrimmage. Corey Heineke playing over there against Brett Williams, got a hand on it.
Heineke's 8th pass broken up of the season.
He's there with Fisher, who was all Big 12, Holliman and Corey Callens. The linebackers, 2 of the best in college football, and Torrance Marshall and Rocky Calmus. We've got Roy Williams in there as a linebacker because he might as well be one of the best strong safeties in football. It makes Ante Jones an extra defensive back. We've seen him make a play already. Thompson, Thatcher with 8 picks, and Derek Strait round out the secondary for the Sooners. 3rd and 6. Wanke from the gun. Plenty of time. On the roll, pump fakes again, and now nobody open, and Oklahoma's going to drag him down.
And they got him where they wanted him. They went to a 3-man line. Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator, said, expect something different, a new wrinkle from Oklahoma. Well, that was it. They hadn't shown much 3-man line. They dropped 8. Chris had to drop back. He was covered, then broke to the outside, couldn't find anybody open. And this is where they want to get him, outside the pocket, moving around.
We talked about what defense would mean to this game, and so far it has, with the exception of 1 pass completion to Atruz Bell. Cottrell to kick again. Low snap, and almost getting to it was Jones, but a high sailing kick. Penalty marker down. Thatcher takes it and got across the 25 to the 26. Another flag flies into the fray. 2 penalty markers down, separate fouls, I think. after a 50-yard punt and a 9-yard return.
Well, the first flag was for the halo, not allowing him 6 feet to catch the football.
That would be the second penalty against Florida State for that particular foul. There's another look.
Yeah, he's just too close to him.
The other one may have been an illegal block. They might offset, but we'll find out from our Big Ten crew in just a moment. That's going to be the call. They'll even off. About 81 years of Big Ten experience on this crew.
Yeah, and this is an all-star crew from the Big Ten. Dave Perry from the Big Ten, the commissioner, tells us this crew is an all-star crew. They're voted in. They're the top official at each of their positions in the Big Ten Conference.
So now the talk is right in front of Bob Stoops, and obviously with his offensive captain Bubba Burcham listening on.
Violation of the 2-yard belt on the kicking team. Illegal block in the back on the receiving team. Those penalties will offset. Will re-kick.
Going to do it again.
Down.
So everybody's got to get back on the field at Pro Player Stadium.
Yeah. Now Oklahoma may have taken advantage of this because they have returned 2 punts for touchdowns. Thatcher, who is back there returning these punts, is I think he's the 4th leading punt returner in the nation.
And also, Bob, that last time, Ante Jones, number 11, found himself a crease, and the snap from center to punter was a little bit low, so maybe they think they can do it one way or the other here.
Well, they've blocked 5 punts on the year also.
They're wide receivers. Many of them play on special teams. We've seen Savage and Norman block kicks this year, but no problem with this one, and it's a nice one. But Thatcher's going to have room from the 15. Got by the first man, but the second and third are there to bring him down after only about a 5-yard return. So no score here early. Our aerial views courtesy of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Goodyear providing aerial coverage of the world's greatest sporting events for more than 75 years. As you look in on Pro Player Stadium and the Oklahoma offense that'll work again from its own 20-yard line. A grouping of 3 receivers to the near side. Now the shift is on with Mackey and Savage trotting out into the slot on the left. So they completely switch sides with their receivers, and Heupel on first down. Quarterback draw. No, he's going to throw it. Got a man open across the middle, across the 30. And a fumble. Loose ball. Out at the 47-yard line. Woolfolk dropped it. Florida State says they have it. And they do.
One of the problems the last 4 games for the Oklahoma Sooners, they've turned the ball over 12 times in the last 4 ball games. Heupel makes a nice play, little jump pass, Woolfolk coming across. Got to put the ball away.
It comes up right there.
It's Tay Cody that knocks it loose.
Cleavon Thomas recovers. Great shape for Florida State at the 47-yard line now. So the first big break of the ball game goes to Florida State courtesy of their defense. Wenke, safety blitz coming. He goes down the middle and he throws it. Intercepted by Torrance Marshall. Back-to-back picks, and Marshall, the senior linebacker from here in Miami's got it right back to the line of scrimmage at the 47. Well, I guess you could say the Sooners gained some yardage on that play.
Yeah, the Butterflies are about the size of eagles right now.
First team all Big 12, one of the top linebackers in the country.
He's trying to get it to the tight end right down the middle. Marshall is right here. He's going to pick it off. Little play action right there. It's a poor throw. Look how bad it was. He hit the red guy in the red shirt. That's the linebacker.
Looks like he never saw him.
Yeah, it may have been blocked out, but he still should find the receiver. The ball wasn't even going to the receiver. It was so far behind him.
They fake the end around a Savage, and Heupel goes down the middle, and he completes it into Florida State territory for the first time tonight to the 45 to Trent Smith. his tight end.
These guys have to settle down now. Just play some good football out here.
Florida State defensively to round out our FedEx starting lineups. Their front four is a good one. We talked about Warren and Reynolds. Dockett and Womble man the inside. The linebackers have played a long time together, and they're good ones. Polly and Jennings and Brian Allen. And in the secondary, and they can cover you like a glove, Cleavon Thomas, who has a fumble recovery already. Chris Hope and Derek Gibson at safeties, and Tate Cody's the guy that caused the fumble. Ronaldo works, checks into the backfield to flank Heupel in the gun. Josh goes to work. Antoine Savage in and out of his hand. Should have had it. Would have been a first down at the 40-yard line.
Just need to settle down a little bit. The last 4 games for Josh Heupel have not been that good. 9 interceptions in the last 4 games. Only 5 touchdown passes.
We looked and thought that his arm was bothering him in the Big 12 championship, and when I asked him the other day, stared a hole through him.
You asked him 3 times, and he's a stubborn German. He wasn't going to admit that it was hurting him, but it certainly was.
But he's had a month now to get ready for this one, and he backs into the shotgun after being under center on 3rd and 2. He'll throw for it and get it inside the 35, and it's Norman. Josh Norman holding on to the ball with both hands. 1st and goal, Oklahoma.
How smart is that kid? He just saw the receiver before him, Woolfolk, drop it from behind. Norman holds on to it just to make sure he gets away with it. From behind the defense. That's a nice play by Heupel. The first time he wanted to throw it, he didn't. He wanted to throw it. He cocks and reloads and fires it. Now he finds the open spot between the linebackers. Short pass, long run.
Just inside the 10. 1st and goal, Oklahoma. Heupel wanting to throw again. Fires high, incomplete again. He was going out to Norman, and Josh bangs his helmet with both hands as if to say I had him wide open and missed him.
Yeah, well, this was about the 5th choice because he was looking to our right side, to his right side. 2 and 3 receivers over there, and then he scrambled left and just threw it away. Threw it high.
Oklahoma, when they get in that red zone, they know what to do with it. 40 touchdowns and 7 field goals. 90% completion inside that area. They're right back in there on 2nd and 10. Quick snap play action. Heupel rolls. Throws. His tight end dropped it. Smith hit him right between the 8s, but another 8. Cleavon Thomas was there to jar it loose, and it's 3rd down and goal. I know the folks in Aberdeen, South Dakota are no doubt on their feet tonight and are watching with bated breath, and there they are, some of the 27,000 residents of that South Dakota city. We welcome them live. Big party going on there. $3 a head, and it all goes to charity. They'd give it all to this kid if he could win a national championship.
You got that right. He won't need it, though, in a little while.
You got that right also. 3rd and goal, just outside the 9. A trio of wide receivers to the near side. Heupel waits. Now he's going to try to gain it on the ground. Finally, he's planted right at the 10-yard line. Didn't want to risk an interception, and Brian Allen, the defensive captain, let him have it.
Well, he did the right thing because there was nobody open. Doubled the wide receivers, and everybody inside was just like a zone. Nobody to throw it to, so he just tried to scramble, create something. Tim
Duncan this year has hit 13 of 21. His long was in the Big 12 championship. That one iced the victory over Kansas State.
Is that a big kick?
Fletcher to hold. It's a 27-yard field goal to try to break our scoreless tie. On the way, and it's good. So the Sooners, courtesy of a Torrance Marshall interception and a long ball from Heupel to Josh Norman, put 3 on the board first. Torrance Marshall in that group made the interception that ended up being a field goal, and a guy that is from Miami.
Played at Sunset High School right here.
Gloria and Leslie Thompson became his legal guardians when things weren't going so well at home, and put him in military school. Says it's one of the best things that ever happened to me. Now he's got a wife and 2 little babies. He's got an interception in the Orange Bowl. So Wenke will bring out the offense. When we talked to him the other day, I said, Chris, you know, you got to watch out for Oklahoma. Their defense is dangerous if you let them touch the ball.
that's really what changes the momentum of a game or changes the outcome of a game. And for them to be able to get turnovers the way they do and then score some points off those turnovers is a scary situation, especially for an offense.
Well, that situation turned into 3.
Yeah, let's see how he reacts to an interception in a big game now.
On the ground is Travis Minor. And they got a couple. J.T. Thatcher and Torrance Marshall made the stop. Let's check the Dell Game Solutions, Robert.
Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator. This offense is #1 in the nation in total offense. They average 42 points a game. Co-defensive coordinators, their defense is pretty good also, but they have 22 interceptions. That's ranked, and they've returned 5 of them for touchdowns. And they just set up the first score with a pick from Chris Winkie.
Here's just a toss to Minor. Oklahoma's defense pursues well, stops him at the 25-yard line. Roy Williams, one of the first guys there to help out on the stop. Williams will take your head off.
Williams, a strong safety most of the year, and everybody say he's like a linebacker at strong safety. Well, tonight, the Bob Stoops and the coaches moved him up to linebacker. Really, they wanted 5 backs on the field, and with the ability of Roy Williams to play linebacker and strong safety, they get that nickel back in the game.
So that's another 3rd down situation as we look behind the Noles. 3rd and 5. Winkie, again, they flush him out of the pocket. He's going to try to get it on the ground, and he doesn't get there. Knocked out of bounds. Dan Cody got over to bump him out.
If you're a Seminole fan, that's not what you want to see, is Chris Winkie running out of the pocket. It was 3rd down, passing situation. Only 2 receivers were out. Only the 2 flankers were out on the route, and they were double covered. That's why Winkie had to run the football.
Cottrell's been a busy punter in this first quarter. 4th down and 3. He'll do it again. And Thatcher, the only Sooner since 1966 to have 2 runbacks for touchdowns as a punt returner. He's done it twice this year. High snap again, but another nice kick. JT's going to call for the fair catch, play it safe, and take it at about the 26-yard line. So the Sooners have the lead. They've got the ball back. And so far, they've done a pretty good job. The undefeated Sooners lead by a field goal. 5:39 remaining in the first quarter. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and Jack Arute with you from Pro Players Stadium. Here's the throw out. Antoine Savage, the completion. And he got out to about the 35-yard line. Third down and 2. Heupel over the middle, completes it. It's going to be a first down at the 39. Sliding catch by the guy that was our player of the game in the Big 12 championship, Trent Smith.
Smith caught 8 passes in that game, and he came into the game only having 21, so he caught about a load of balls that he hadn't caught all year, but that's where they wanted to go with it.
He's an aviation major and a licensed pilot, and he put the flaps down here or he never would have caught this thing.
For 88.
And works on the carry. Got about 5. Oklahoma right now giving Florida State a little taste of their own medicine. They're not taking much time at the line of scrimmage, are they?
I think people are starting to realize why this team, Oklahoma, is ranked #1 and undefeated.
They didn't have many believers maybe out of the Midwest, with the exception of a lot of the broadcasters we know, and it's because of that guy. You get around him very long and that confidence oozes out of him and drips all over you. 2nd down and 5. Heupel, heavy pressure. There's that shovel pass. Quentin Griffin in the open field across midfield down to the 44-yard line. One of the most effective plays they have in their arsenal. They get 12 yards.
And the reason it's effective is it's like a draw play, but there's nobody else back there to give it to. The back, watch the back on the left side, number 22. He's just going to do a little shovel pass. He gets deep, and the linebackers forget about him, and then you got the center, Burcham, going out throwing a block for him.
Perfect blocking by the front wall on that one. First down, Sooners. 6 completions for Heupel to 5 different receivers. Draw play this time, and it's Griffin again. And the little guy, who seems to be able to hide behind the big eaters, gets down to about the 37-yard line.
Running up inside. You got the brains on the sideline calling the plays. Mangino with an offense that's averaging 39 points a game versus Mickey Andrews, one of the best, on the other side calling the defensive plays.
Sooners have moved it to the 38-yard line here in the final 3 minutes of the first quarter. 7th play of this drive. Knowles almost jumped offside, and now Heupel calmly backpedals into the shotgun. Josh fires to the sideline, complete, and a knee down right at the first down marker to Damian Mackey. Let's check in with Swanee.
Well, Brad, one of the things that's helped Oklahoma throughout the year is that they have been an offensive team that's had tremendous field position, and they've taken advantage of it every time. They have about 1/3 of the plays, the scoring drives this season, have come across less than 50 yards on this football field. That's unbelievable. And look at the pattern of the offense so far in this ball game. They are just moving it by inches down the field. The short pass, I don't think Heupel's on the ball any more than 5 or 8 yards downfield, and then they're getting the yards after the catch.
You're right. His longest completion was 36 yards, but that was only about a 10-yard pass play. Here's Mackey on the end around, and the Noles are all over that one, and Florida State drops him out at the 33-yard line.
Brian Allen says, no. We got too much speed. You can't run around. You can't run that play on us.
The #1 team in the country, the #2 team in the country squaring off so far. And with 1:45 left first quarter, Oklahoma's got a field goal. Pro Players Stadium in Miami started filling up about 6 hours before game time. 2nd down at 10. Just outside the 33. Heupel throws wide open in the middle is Mackey again, and Mackey weaves his way for another first down, Oklahoma. Damian Mackey found himself a little spot to sit down, and Heupel found it.
Does a nice job. They're going to have a little blitz over here on this side. Here's Mackey, the receiver, over here. He's just going to find a hole. He drifts away from the pressure. The pressure almost got to him. There he is, right in the center. I tell you, Heupel does such a good job of feeling the pressure in the pocket. Well, pocket awareness and moving around, get the ball off.
He's perfect in this drive, 5 for 5. Now they go back to the draw, and Quentin Griffin, the little fella, down to the 15-yard line. As Swanee said, little by little, 5 here, 8 there, 7 more there.
Short passes, long runs, or short passes and first downs. Just pick it up. Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator, well aware of the passing tendencies and schemes, was going to try and put a lot of guys short to try and take that away from him. But Josh is finding the cracks in the zones.
Quentin Griffin, you see trotting out, number 47, the true freshman, Ronaldo Works. Checks into the backfield, but it'll be Heupel in the gun on a 2nd down and 3. Trent Smith is tight end in a slot on the right side. Curtis Fagan in motion. And Heupel, again, a scramble pass moving to his left, and it's intercepted. Shouldn't have thrown that one, and Tay Cody's got it going the other way. Cody got away from a big lineman. He's going to be down at about the 28-yard line. So Josh Heupel made a mistake. Tay Cody made him pay. Tay Cody's 7th interception of the season.
And 13th of his career. He's scrambling out. He's going to try and throw the ball, but Cody sees it and cuts in front of Smith, number 88, who slipped down on the play.
There's what we talked about. First team All-ACC with those 6 interceptions, now 7 with the one he just tacked on there, and a nice return out to his number, 47.
The 3rd turnover of the game, and we haven't played a quarter yet.
Final play of the quarter here. A wanky play action, trying to find Anquan Bolden, and incomplete. As everybody looks up at the clock, is there 1 second left, or has the first quarter expired?
Well, it says 00, but I don't know. Was there a penalty on the play?
I think there's 1 second left.
1 second back on the clock. 1 second on the clock, please.
When I looked down, Anquan Bolden and that pass sailed over his head. I looked up at the clock and saw the last one tick away, so they're going to have one more play going in this direction.
Here's Cody. That's his 13th interception of his career, and both these teams have 33 takeaways defensively, which ranks 5th in the nation. So both defenses are used to taking the ball away.
Yep. We talked about defense at the top of the game, and it has come to pass here in the first 15 minutes without a doubt. This will be, barring a penalty, the final play of the first quarter. Wanke, play action, deep drop, zips it down, complete across the 40 and out to the 43-yard line. Tallman Gardner, Florida State with a first down as the first quarter comes to an end. It's Oklahoma by a field goal. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and Jack Arute with you, and our ABC crew from Pro Players Stadium in Miami, Florida, where Josh Heupel's just been intercepted. Yet another turnover. Both quarterbacks have seen one picked off, and now Florida State's got an opportunity after their initial first down since that opening drive. Let's check the Nokia team comparisons after the first quarter.
Thing that jumps out at you, we mentioned the turnovers, 2 for Oklahoma. Rushing yards, not much either way. Oklahoma with 113 yards passing, most of that short throws and long runs.
And then they got just a little bit too greedy, and Josh Heupel tried to make something happen that wasn't there. That led to the interception.
Anemic numbers for the offense for Florida State.
For how high-powered they normally are. I don't think they'll be that quiet all night. Here's a draw play on 2nd and 9. Travis Minor, nice open field tackle down there. And that's Derek Strait. Redshirt freshman cornerback from Austin, Texas. There's the first 4 possessions of the game.
Take a look at Florida State. This right there, 4 plays and out for all. And then over here, 3 of the 4, you punt the football, and the other one you threw an interception.
And only 3 times this year has Florida State been shut out in the first quarter, as they were here. So Bobby's working that sideline a little bit.
Bobby said, he says he's very confident, but the closer he gets to the game, that's when he gets to be concerned, because I think he thinks about all the things that could go wrong.
Just outside the 45, 3rd and 8. Chris Wanke loads it and fires it, and it's caught. Nope, incomplete. Tallman Gardner saying he had it. The officials say no.
Well, I think if Chris could have waited 1 split second longer, he would have been out of his break, and he could have thrown the ball a little bit higher for him.
Good call. One hopper.
I don't know. Did it hit the ground?
I think so. Another punt coming up. And again, Thatcher's at his own 10-yard line. Line drive this time. He might have a chance at this one. Thatcher from the 8. Fumble! Loose ball! Goes out of bounds before Florida State can get a handle on it.
There's a flag way up here on the 20-yard line that was thrown from about the 40-yard line. The ball will go over to Oklahoma because they had the last possession of it.
Michael Boulware, I think, is the guy that made the hit that caused the fumble. Thatcher now is, whoa, he's going down as they try to help him off the field. And they can ill afford to lose their leading interceptor out of the secondary. Meanwhile, as Bob said, there's a flag down at the 20. And the clock's still running, too, so they're going to have to back everything up a little bit.
Talking about clocks, I think he gets his clock clean. I think he gets hit in the head right there.
Yep,
with
you're
a
right.
forearm.
Oof. He got mowed under.
I think he got knocked woozy, too.
The first hit was Boulware's. And then Kendall Pope came over the top, and he's the one that rung the bell, and JT is still walking sideways.
Walking sideways is right. He's their starting free safety, their punt returner. He scored 3 touchdowns, 2 on punt returns and 1 on an interception.
Wow. Yeah, that was an unbelievable hit, a hard hit that Thatcher took. But something happened. I think I just need to let everybody out there watching this game know When he was lying on the ground, number 11, Ante Jones, came over, and he was concerned about his teammate. He reached over, and Thatcher's lying down there, and he just yanked him up. Whenever a guy gets hit in the head, he's laying on the field. Never touch him. Let the trainers reach him.
Here's the hit again on the punt return. You're going to see his head go the wrong direction as he reached back for that loose ball, and he immediately grabbed the sides of his helmet. He looks better now than he did when we went to the commercial, we'll tell you that much. And that's good news for Oklahoma.
Yes.
Bad news is Josh Heupel standing at his own goal line out of the shotgun. Heupel getting some pressure, throws short. Quentin Griffin trying to find some room and got out to the 10-yard line. And let's check in with Jack on another injury. Jack?
Yeah, Brad. In fact, the defense is playing without one of their stars that we've already seen, Tay Cody, who made that interception. They have taken Tay to the Florida State locker room. They have suspect a bruised abdomen. They worked on him on the sidelines, and they didn't get much relief, so they're going to take him inside. It's questionable as to when and if he will return.
Well, neither team wants to lose a DB as good as those two guys.
You got that right. Samuels is his replacement.
2nd and 5 now for Oklahoma, just outside its own 10-yard line. They lead by a field goal. Heupel looks like he's changing things up at the line. Get hit in the pocket, almost threw another interception. Bradley Jennings almost scooped that one off the turf.
I think he got hit while he was throwing that ball, and that was kind of misdirected, but you got to be careful when you're backed up. You don't want to take a safety, but you don't want to throw an interception either. From behind the offense. Yeah, he got hit.
Yeah, he got hit pretty good.
Yeah.
Like Warren got him from the back. It forces 3rd and 5.
Really didn't have to scramble there. The pocket was in pretty good shape.
This time over the middle he goes and completes it to Savage. And he's got a first down out at the 23-yard line. So they come right back with a 3rd and long and got 13. Josh Heupel, who has gotten it to several different receivers tonight, and that's what he's been doing all season long, has seen him get it to his arsenal. Group of guys that all catch in that 25 to 45 group in passes, and he got the last one to Savage. Antoine came in as the leading receiver in number of catches, as you see, and he just turned that last one into a first down. Here's a shovel pass to Griffin again, and Griffin got a couple. That's about all. Jeff Womble, first guy there to make the stop. Tonight, Josh Heupel's hit 6 different receivers so far.
And what that shovel will do for you, if it doesn't gain any yardage, it will certainly have those defensive tackles looking to slow the rush down and have them looking for that shovel pass as they rush the passer.
Norman and Griffin come out. Works and Luttrell go in. There's Josh Heupel's numbers. We still have 11.5 minutes to go in the half. 2nd down and 8.
I don't think any of Heupel's attempts, 17 of them, have gone for over 20 yards.
Now he loads up and goes deep on the sideline, and Woolfolk got a hand on it, but it's broken up back there by Malcolm Tatum.
Yeah, that was the longest pass of the day. And if there was any question about Heupel's elbow or arm strength, I think it was erased right there. He threw that ball on the money, and Woolfolk came back and almost made a play on it. Woolfolk almost made a defensive play just to get the knock it away.
That's
from
exactly right.
Yeah, right here. But the ball, the arm strength, what we were questioning, I think is there. I think it's the rest, the month's rest. His arm is fine.
3 wideouts, as you see, all at the bottom of your screen on 3rd down and 8. Heupel looks the other way. Scrambles, may try to run for it. Now he throws and finds a man. I think he's over the line of scrimmage, though.
He was.
And Mackey's got it out to the 45. Josh took that one a yard or two too far, I think.
Well, I think it was a smart chance, a good opportunity by Josh, because he wasn't going to pick up the first down on his own. And he didn't know whether he was over the line or not, so he just took a chance that he wasn't.
The line of scrimmage was about the 26-yard line.
There's the 20, 25.
Ooh, boy, that was close.
It was close.
It was closer than I thought it was. But that's a call, and the loss of down forces Oklahoma to give it up. So Jeff Ferguson will have to punt. That was a tough spot for the Sooners. They at least got a little bit of room to work. They started at their own 5-yard line, got it as far with the penalty now as the 22. Ferguson's had a few blocked this year.
They might be coming on this one.
That's Florida State with everybody in their track stance. Low snap, but he handled it well. Not a good kick. Thomas, and Thomas mishandles on the other end, but he got back on top of it. Almost fumbled the punt return at the 47-yard line. So good field position for the Seminoles, the defending champions, who trail by 3. The 67th FedEx Orange Bowl in the national championship game here in Miami, where Florida State's got great field position now, working from just inside its own 28-yard line. Wenke off play action, flares it out of the backfield. Randy Golightly is fullback, and Golightly gets into Oklahoma territory. There's the leading receiver for Florida State this year, Marvin Snoop Minnis, who due to academic difficulties is ineligible for this game, and that takes away one of Chris Wenke's major weapons. They've got a lot of different receivers he can throw to, but that was sort of his go-to guy if there was such a thing on this team. 2nd down and 2. They'll stay on the ground and try to pick it up. And if they got it, it was a tough 2. Rocky Kalmus with a hit on Travis Minor, but I think Travis got the first down. You talk about Chris Wenke and his wheel of fortune, and he has had some sensational athletes and wide receivers over his stay at Florida State. And here's the guys this year. Minnis with 63. Travis Minor was a number 2 receiver. Then Bolden and Bell, Walker and Morgan. He had everything but Vanna White out there with him, and he uses them all pretty well. 5 completions to 5 different receivers tonight. First down at the 41 of Oklahoma. Play action. Wenke steps up in the pocket and fires and completes it. First down inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. Anquan Bolden, who signals first down, and it is. 19-yard pickup.
I formation. Little I formation. Go to hit the receiver just down on a deep comeback. Play action. Holds the linebackers. Now watch the guy at the top. He comes back. He uncovered to come back to make the catch. If they throw from I formation, normally it's going to be to the wide receivers on out routes or takeoffs. Not much flare control over the middle.
So Florida State's got something working at the 22 of the Sooners. Wenke goes out to Golightly, and he went down at the 20-yard line. Swanee, you can say all you want about how they've got all the weapons to replace Snoop Minnis, but a favorite receiver is a favorite receiver, right?
Well, that's absolutely correct. And what Marvin Minnis gives to this team, other than the guy who's making big play and catches a lot of passes, is that senior leadership that Bobby Bowden loves to have. When you're in a stressful moment in the huddle, when things aren't going right, the younger receivers can look at Marvin. He can give him a little wink and say everything's going to be okay. Someone's got to step up and take control, and the guy is probably going to be Chris Wenke.
Wenke brings him up at the 20. And Oklahoma's going to take a timeout. Our Aflac trivia question tonight. Can you name the 2 other times that the top 2 finishers in the Heisman Trophy voting have met in the postseason? Obviously, we've got Chris Wenke and Josh Heupel in that capacity tonight. We'll have the answer for you in a few minutes. One sits on the sideline. The winner is out there, 2nd down and 8 at the 20-yard line. Oklahoma showing blitz. And they're going to bring it. Wenke backpedal, screen pass, perfect play, maybe. Travis Minor. But a nice job defensively by Roy Williams, that safety we talked about, who's linebacker size. And he brings down Minor after a gain of 2. As the rain starts to fall, Chris Wenke has found 5 different guys as receivers tonight. 2 of them out of the backfield and Golightly and Minor. The other 3 to the wideouts.
This is their 6th possession.
This is a big one here.
Yeah.
At the 18-yard line. 3rd down and 6.
The forecast was for some light showers, nothing heavy.
Here they come. The showers, that is. They have not had anything shorter than a 3rd and 5. And they got 3rd and 6 here, and now we may have another timeout. And Florida State takes one. So 8:09 remaining in the half. The Seminoles, like the Sooners a couple of plays ago, are going to talk it over. Always thinking a play ahead. You know, Bobby Bowden's saying right now I got a 3rd and 6. If we don't pick it up, do I use my freshman kicker who has been part of the struggling kicking game of the Seminoles this year? Right now to be a 35-yard field goal attempt. Of course, Chris Winkie can make it a moot point if he picks up this 3rd down.
Yeah, they're showing blitz. Everybody's up there. Now they're back out.
3rd and 6 from the 18. Winkie lofts one to Miner. Nice touch on the pass. And Miner's got it inside the 15. Does he have it to the 1st down marker? I don't think so.
If he doesn't, he's got it in the center of the field.
He sure does.
For the field goal kicker.
And here they come. So Bobby says we're going to let the freshman take a crack at it. And remember, in the Miami game, their only loss of the season, in the 1st quarter alone, they went on 4th and short a couple times down in the red zone just because they were scared of their field goal accuracy. They're going to ask the true freshman now to hit a 30-yarder to try to tie it up. And it's no good. It's been a year-long problem.
Early in the season, we asked Bobby Bowden, can you win a national championship with everything except a good field goal kicker? And he says, you can, but you've got to be much better than your opponent. You're not going to win any close ones when you can't kick a field goal.
We asked Brett Cimarelli the other day, what's the coach told you? And he said, we have to be perfect from 30 in. That was right on 30. And of course, it's wide right. What else could it be? That had such a strange twist on it. Maybe somebody got a little piece of a deflection. At any rate, Oklahoma takes over.
I think he hit the ground first.
And the pass thrown behind the intended receiver, almost intercepted. Let's check in with Swanee.
Well, Bob and Brad, it was halfway into the season before the Florida State offense decided on what their kicking strategy would be. When Janikowski was there, they just lined up, kicked them 45, 50 yards. But now they decided they would kick only if they were at the 25-yard line and in. And no one touched that ball. Cimarelli needed to make that kick to gain some confidence, because if it comes down to a kicking game, folks, Oklahoma has the great advantage.
And the Sooners now with a 2nd down and 10. Still with the lead. Heupel, quick throw out to Norman. Norman, nice stiff arm. The big fella, former running back, former just about everything on this team. And he gets out for about 8 yards. Stanford Samuels made the stop.
And roommate of Chris Josh Heupel, I should say. They know each other really well because they spend a lot of time together. He used to be a quarterback. He's a running back. He's 6'2" and about 220 pounds. And now he's a wide receiver, and a darn good one.
5 receivers, including Trent Smith, the tight end, right here on a 3rd down and 2. And it's Heupel under center. Tommy Polley thinking about blitz, and now Heupel calmly tells his center, I know what's going on. Don't worry about it. Here comes everybody, and too much time.
Yeah, and he didn't like the play he had called if they were going to blitz, and that's why he called the timeout.
Good job by the Seminoles defense to give him that many looks.
Snap, full start on the offense, 5 yards, remains 3rd down.
You can bet it'll change the play now. Instead of 3rd and 2, it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7 rather.
Josh is all the way over to the sideline talking as if he had a timeout. They didn't give him a timeout.
As he backpedals back toward his huddle, 20 seconds left on the play clock. He's done a nice job on 3rd downs. Forced one that was picked off earlier. He's got 3rd and 7 here. Trying to get a screen pass out, and that one is blown up by Cleavon Thomas. Cookie Thomas said hello in the flat. And it's punting time again for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma, short passing game, slip screens, shovel passes, little things are over in the middle. And what Florida State is doing a nice job of reading it, coming up and making the tackle.
Florida State's winning the battle of field position right now in this quarter. That's about all you can say. They're still short on the scoreboard by a field goal. Ferguson to kick again. Thomas, who just made that hit, back as a punt returner. And Thomas will have a shot at it from the 36, and he's knocked down immediately. Nice coverage down there. As we said, their starting wide receivers play a lot of special teams. Woolfolk with a hit. Florida State trailing by 3 on offense. With 5:31 remaining in the second quarter. Chris Wenke, play action. Down the middle. Complete, very close to a first down. I think he's got it. Atrus Bell. And Bell had that 36-yard pass reception on the opening play offensively for Florida State. Still their biggest play of the game.
High formation. Atrus Bell just going to get open right over the center of the field. First down, play action pass. The last drive they had was important because they moved the ball, they got down, but you have to convert. Having a good field goal kicker just gets 3 points on the board, gets some momentum going.
Here's a toss to Minor. Ooh, that's got to be Rocky Calvers for Torrance Marshall. Wow. We asked the Aflac trivia question earlier. Can you name the 2 other times that the top 2 Heisman Trophy Award finishers faced each other in the postseason? And of course we have it with Chris Wenke and Josh Heupel. Well, here's the answers for you. Archie Griffin and Anthony Davis in the '75 Rose Bowl, and George Rogers and Hugh Green from South Carolina and Pittsburgh respectively. And South Carolina won their game, USC won their game. That was a good question. I think Swanee came up with that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Second down at 10, just shaded on the side of midfield. Florida State keeps it on the ground. Travis Minor in the open field. Flags down. Might negate a 15-yard run by Travis Minor. That one came flying in as though maybe one of the wide receivers threw an illegal block or had a hold downfield.
I think you got it, partner. It was a push in the back by one of the wide receivers.
So again, the penalties killing Florida State as they did early in the ball game.
Right here, let's take a look at, I think that's Bolden. There's the push in the back.
Anquan's playing leapfrog with Derek Strait.
Neither team can run the football. Oklahoma only rushing for 15 yards. Florida State for 17. Bobby Bowden's teams have been the most penalized in the ACC conference the last 5 years.
You asked him about that.
Yeah, and he doesn't mind if they're aggressive penalties on defense. But if they're on offense where you're trying to execute, get your timing or block in the back or a clip or a hold, then that sets you back.
That set them back a long ways. Instead of a 17-yard gain, they're backed up to their own 44-yard line. On a 2nd and 16. Wenke on the move again. Heads for the sideline, gets what he can. We might have another holding call. Flag thrown behind Wenke as he got across the 45.
Real late, too.
And after the fact foul, it appears. And let's wait and see. Florida State's walking back to their huddle in that direction.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
Wow. They would have been down at about the 33-yard line and now back up to their own 33-yard line.
Right here, take a look at this. Wenke's running. The official is just to the right side. We didn't see it from there, but evidently must have had his hands out. We mentioned they're the most penalized team in the conference. They average 95 yards a game in penalty yards.
Now backed up inside their own 34. Second down and 26. There aren't a lot of them in the playbook for 2nd and 26.
Well, they'll let you call this one.
Wenke with plenty of time. Deep down the middle, in and out of the hands of Anquan Bolden. That would have gotten him back to midfield at least. He dropped it.
I think that's where they miss Snoop Menace. I mean, I think Snoop, if he were there, would have caught that one and done something with it. But all these young guys, they don't have their senior out there. They've got senior leadership at every position. Now you take Snoop away and there's no senior. You can't do anything more than hand him the ball if you're the quarterback. I mean, you got to make that play.
Rocky Kalmus got a paw out there and may have made him flinch just enough to take his eye off it, but he should have had it. He comes out, and it's 3rd and 26. Florida State hasn't converted a 3rd down yet. Going deep. Out there, and Walker's knocked down, incomplete. He wants a call, doesn't get it. And Florida State, after what would have been a 1st down on the Travis Minor pass completion, instead has to kick it away again.
Very good point. They had a 1st down way up on the Oklahoma 35-yard line. But because of the holding penalty or the push in the back, they're punting from their own 20-yard line. And Thatcher is deep to receive the punt.
He's been back in there ever since being dinged earlier on a punt return. The last one mishandled, tried to get his hands on it, and then really was smothered. Not a good kick this time. It does take a Florida State bounce, but Thatcher takes it on the hop. Got about 4 yards on the return out to the 33-yard line. As Heupel with a draw play to Quentin Griffin, trying to keep his footing, and he lost about a yard. And JC's with our Lynn Swan. Swanee?
Well, in those days it was JC. Now it's Congressman Watts. A little deja vu. That competitive juice start to flow when you come out here.
Well, Lynn, JC always works, but yeah, it does. It's you know, we didn't actually play on this field, but it's the Orange Bowl, it's Florida State, so deja vu.
I know what's most important, but what was more thrilling? Helping to elect a man president of the United States or being MVP of this ball game?
Well, tonight it's seeing the Sooners win. Governor Bush, we've got him taken care of for 4 years. We got to take care of business here tonight.
Okay, Brad.
I know one thing. It took a lot shorter time to win the MVP than it did to find a president. I'll tell you that much. Completion out to Quentin Griffin with 3:05 remaining in the half. So Oklahoma still with an opportunity with 2 timeouts to work with to try to add more points, but it has been tough sledding by both these teams, courtesy of 2 great defenses and maybe a little bit of rustiness from the long layoff.
I think there's a little nerves on both sides, and I think everybody watching this game now understands why Oklahoma is undefeated and ranked #1.
Heupel quarterback draw, just going to keep it, tuck it, get out of the way, umpire. Took the ump out with it and almost got a 1st down.
Almost, but not quite.
Jim Augustine, the umpire, is going to have to rearrange his cap a little bit. He already has. A nice block, Jim, or a nice tackle.
He's
I'm
not
not
looking.
Sure
He's not looking for the. He's looking at the offensive and defensive line. He's not looking for a quarterback to run the ball up there.
So it's about, looks like it's about a foot or 2 short, but they're going to bring the chains out just to make sure. And that's about what it is, that much. Bob Stoops, who's done a remarkable resurrection job, if you will, in Norman, Oklahoma with his team.
Bright young coach. Really, I think going to be one of the top coaches in this country for a long time.
Here's a 4th down and 1.
I don't think they're going to snap this ball.
Heupel, even a little bit of a head bob trying to get him to move there, and they won't. And now you'll call timeout.
Yeah. They're not going to snap that ball on their own side of the 50 with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in the half.
Not with Chris Wanke playing quarterback on the other side.
Yeah.
Let's check in with Jack Garreau. Jack?
Well, Brad, those runs and those performances by J.C. Watts-led Oklahoma Sooners teams were the motivation for Coach Stoop and this year 2000 and 2001 Oklahoma Sooner team. They showed the videos all week while they were down here. The reaction to the players, they were in hysterics because J.C. Watts was wearing an afro back in those days. And then you saw the way Congressman Watts looks today.
Josh Heupel huddled around the coaching staff on the sideline with 2:38 remaining. Oklahoma on a field goal, the only score of the night so far. As Bob said, if this team wasn't respected coming in, they're finding out now that there are believers elsewhere around the country. They played great defense, as has Florida State, and that stifled the top 2 Heisman finishers so far. This is the 9th punt of the game between the 2 teams. Nick Maddox back in return formation for Florida State. Oh, what a kick this is by Ferguson. And it takes a side bounce for Oklahoma. Flag goes down. Great punt by Ferguson. Now let's see what the penalty's about. It appeared as though everybody got out of the way down there, but Dick Honig will straighten it out for us.
I think it's a block in the back.
Personal foul.
It's a clip. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll take them half the distance to the goal. They won't add up much penalty yardage, but they'll add to their penalty total so far. They'll be down inside their own 3.
Personal foul on the receiving team. The signal of a fair catch blocked. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Threw a block after a fair catch was called, and that is the personal foul. And that's Florida State inside their own 4-yard line. Toss it to Travis Minor. And Minor got out to the 5, and that's about it.
Yeah, 2 thoughts here offensively. First, be careful you don't turn it over. A little over 2 minutes to go in the first half. And secondly, you might have an opportunity to hit a big play, because when the defense has you backed up on your own 5-yard line, there's a tendency for them to relax. Now remember, throughout the season, there were a couple times when Winky faked the play and hit Stoop Minnis for a long 85, 90-yard touchdown pass, but he's not here today.
He's not afraid to have the guts, though, that play action, and just stand in the end zone.
There it is.
There it is. Fires deep. Scott Bell out there, but he overshot it. A. Bell just couldn't quite get there. Michael Thompson and Roy Williams both back in coverage.
It's a good time to take a shot at it out of your own end zone. But Oklahoma, you got to give them credit. They're ready defensively.
The guys that came in with all the statistics and all the hardware are finding it hard to get their offenses in gear because of the defensive performances on both sides. They've each been intercepted.
Yep. You know, you don't win championships without good defenses, and both these teams are in the top 10 defensively, almost in every defensive category.
Mount Florida State has averaged 3rd and 9. They got a 3rd and 8 here. Again from his own end zone. Flipping it out. Bell makes a diving catch. That time he hooked up with A. and it's first down Florida State. Pick up at 22.
Yep. This gets them out of their own end zone. There he is right down here. He's just going to run up the sideline. It's going to be a double zone. He's going to throw it in between the 2 defensive backs. They were working on this. I was out at the Oklahoma practice the other day, and Bob Stoops was throwing that route, and the defensive backs were covering it pretty well.
Winky play action again. In the pocket, finds some trouble, finds his safety valve, and Randy Golightly. And Golightly gets about 5 on the completion. 1:13 remaining in the second quarter. Charles Schwab will make contributions to the scholarship funds of each of the universities represented in the Bowl Championship Series. As you look past the Charles Schwab Cup to Josh Heupel, who'd like to get his hands on it again before the end of this quarter, but probably won't. Just think how big that pass play of Winky's was. That was 3rd and 8. If he doesn't get that completion to A. Bell, they're kicking a punt. And Cottrell's going to be backed up with his own his back foot back there by the goalpost.
And Thatcher is running downhill. He's catching that ball on the 50-yard line, and they got good field position.
Rocky Calmus part of that sensational defense. A game summary of this one: some hard hitting, some loose balls. Wolf Oaks fumble, didn't do any damage. But Torrance Marshall's interception did, because that led to a field goal. Josh Heupel also picked off by Tay Cody, who went to the locker room with an injury. But that didn't add any points for Florida State, because Oklahoma turned right back around and stiffened defensively. We've had more punts than points so far in the ball game.
Florida State's got 1 timeout left, 1:13 on the clock, and the unfortunate thing about for the Seminoles is they don't have a field goal kicker that if they can just get down there, they feel good about getting 3 on the board.
Right now they're thinking touchdown. Winky, deep middle, tipped, almost intercepted.
Should have been intercepted.
Williams had his hands on it. Kalmus in a deep drop had his hands on it. Marshall was back there. Nobody could find the handle. That was a dangerous one.
Poor decision by Chris Winky. There was about 2 or 3 guys around this ball.
They had a safety and 2 linebackers drop that deep back there. 3rd and 5. This is a short one for Florida State with their 3rd downs tonight. Screen pass off the fingertips of Minor. That stops the clock with 1:01, and Florida State will have to give it back to the Sooners.
It was a poor job by Chris Winky to continue backpedaling, because when you keep backpedaling, that just tells everybody screen, screen,
Right.
screen. I mean, you need to get away from the defensive line who keep coming. Now watch the way he just keeps going back, 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 back. That tells everybody, don't chase the quarterback, go get the screen guy.
The Noles are 1 for 8 on 3rd down conversions. Another punt coming up. Thatcher camps under it at the 22. Good coverage by Florida State special teams. So let's see what Oklahoma does. They have 1 timeout left. They can't get too fancy here either.
No, I think they'd be happy going in. They may take 1 shot down the field, but they don't want to create any turnovers here.
They'll keep it on the ground. Quentin Griffin. And only got a couple. The last time Florida State was shut out, you're wondering, how about the Miami game? Last trip they made to South Florida, same thing happened.
Yep.
And of course, that was their only regular season loss of the year.
They came back in the second half early in the year in that game and scored 24 points.
But came up 3 short.
Right.
And again, they came up 3 short on a kick that was wide right at the end that could have extended the game. 2nd and 8. Heupel in the gun. Let's see if he'll throw it. Nope. With both hands around the football. Oklahoma keeps it on the ground. Brian Allen makes the stop, and everybody's going to head to the locker room. Well, if you wanted one of those 70-point games, maybe we'll have it in the 3rd and 4th quarters, because it's defense, defense, and more defense through the first 2 stanzas right now. Both quarterbacks have been intercepted, and it's 3-0. Oklahoma in front. Let's go down to Lynn Swan.
Coach, the defenses are playing phenomenal. How can you generate more offense in the second half?
Well, we had some offense going. We threw a turnover down there in the red zone, and you know, the turnovers have been the big key. Along with that, yeah, we're off a little bit executing. We'll catch a rhythm here in the second half, and more than anything, take care of the ball in the red zone. We got some more points.
I'll see you in the second half. Right. Let's go over to Jack Root.
Well, Coach, you really miss Janikowski.
Yeah, we should have had a field goal down there, but we missed it. That's been a close ball game. It's been our Achilles heel.
Now, what do you do in the second half? Because it looks as if you got to try and find some wide receivers to replace Minnis.
Yeah, it really does. We look real ragged offensively. There's no continuity there at all. So we've got to get some continuity and some timing on our offense. Defense is playing well. We simply have got to do something offensively.
Well, Brad, right here may be the keys. He makes notes throughout the course of the day. And when he goes into the locker room, he'll be talking about those notes, Brad.
He's going to be studying them, no doubt about it, Jack. Only a field goal through 2 quarters at the 67th FedEx Orange Bowl. There were mistakes made by both quarterbacks. One led to a score and one didn't. As we look at our game summary, the one that led to a score, errant pass by Wenke. Torrance Marshall, the Miami native, with the interception. At the end of that drive, Tim Duncan hit the field goal, and that's all we've seen so far. Florida State has missed a field goal at 30 yards that would have tied the ball game up. Welcome back to Pro Player Stadium, everybody. Brad Nessler and Bob Greasy. Well, partner, I guess maybe we can throw away the 30-27 idea.
I think that's out.
We talked about defense, though, when we started, and these teams having trouble just getting to the red zone.
Hey, they say defense wins championships. We got 2 championship defenses here. I think the pressure is on Florida State, because if it's going to be a close game, a field goal kicker could come down, and their field goal kicker is not around. And I think that puts pressure on their offense to score touchdowns and not field goals.
You talk about red zone struggles. Oklahoma's had 2 possessions in the red zone. They got a field goal and they were intercepted. Florida State 1 possession in the red zone and they missed a 30-yard field goal. So it's been tough sledding just to get down close. And when they've gotten close, one has hit a field goal and one has misfired. Matt Munyon has got it teed up as J.T. Thatcher and Antoine Savage are back deep for Oklahoma, who'll touch the football first on offense to open this 3rd quarter at the 10-yard line. Savage looking for room. Cuts outside and got the corner. Antoine Savage across the 40. A stiff arm, and he's all the way out to the 46-yard line. That's the way you start a second half. A 36-yard kick return.
That's just what you talk about at halftime. Let's go take the opening half, kick in the second half, get some good field position. Savage is a wide receiver, but has the best running ability of all the wide receivers and shows it here.
Munyon's the guy that had to make the tackle, the kicker. And so Josh Heupel comes out 22 attempts. He's hit 14, has not thrown a touchdown pass, threw a costly interception down at about the 12-yard line earlier in the ball game. From the gun, looking right all the way, it goes out to Wirtz. And Wirtz has to work just to get back to the line of scrimmage, thanks to Cleavon Thomas, who made a nice play out on the corner and has had several so far tonight.
Josh Heupel has not thrown the ball down the field, continues to throw it short. Look at all the passes from the line of scrimmage to the 50. Only one pass further downfield than the 15-yard line. Continues to go with the screens and the short passing game.
Somewhere tonight, somebody's going to have to open it up and air it out long. 2nd down and 10 from the 46. 3 wideouts and a tight end for Heupel. And on a quarterback draw, he takes it straight up the middle and does a pretty good job to get in to Florida State territory at the 47-yard line. Let's take a look at our Federal Express air-to-ground first half statistics. The air attack first. There's the passing yardage way below normal and no touchdowns. And then the ground attack, Bob had talked about nobody doing anything on the ground. FedEx might send this package back.
The yardage, both passing and rushing, is about the same for both teams. The only difference, the field goal for Oklahoma.
So far, the defenses are saying return to sender. 3rd down and 3 at the 47. Savage in motion. And it's Heupel. Throws into some coverage, and he got it in there, tucked it in at the 40-yard line to Andre Woolfolk, and that's a first down.
All he needed was like 2 or 3 yards, and he gets it in. There he is right here. He's just going to come right across the line of scrimmage, get 3 yards, 2 or 3 yards. Picks up a first down.
The first down for Oklahoma's offense since there was 12 minutes left in the 2nd quarter.
And tight coverage. Florida State knows what they're doing. They've got 5 and 6 guys across that short zone.
This little draw play worked pretty well for him on the drive that got him down before the interception, and Quentin Griffin got 6 more yards. Swanee?
Well, Brad, Mark Mangino, the offensive coordinator for the Sooners, came out, and I asked him, can you get a little more offense? What are you going to do in the second half? And he said, we're going to go after him. He says, our guys have been making the plays. We're doing great catching the ball, getting the extra yards, but we're going to go after them. We're going to go up top. So look for them to throw something a little bit longer than 10 or 15 yards shortly.
We'll keep our eye on it.
And you got Tatum over there at the corner. Tate Cody is still not in the ballgame.
2nd down at 4. And penalty markers on the play. They blow that one dead. Dick Honig will tell us about the penalty.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards, repeat 2nd down.
Bob mentioned Tay Cody still not being out there. I think Jack's got more on that. Jack?
Yeah, guys, you will not see Tay Cody back. He has been transferred to the hospital. The doctors suspect a problem with his spleen.
Oh.
So that's the end of the night for Tay Cody.
Well, we cross our fingers and say our prayers for Tay, a sensational player and a great kid who's already graduated from Florida State. We'll wish him the best if he's in the hospital watching. Tay, we're with you. Here's a pass across the middle. Woolfolk got it down to about the 33-yard line. Malcolm Tatum made the stop. Pick up a 7. Going to be third and a long 2, almost 3.
There's the receiver here. He's going to come across, but watch the linebacker here as he's going to jam him as he's coming across the field. Right here, he wants to hit him. They're looking for those guys crossing short. He still catches the football.
Woolfolk and Savage, the wide receivers. Smith, the tight end, is over here on the near side. Third down, a long 2. Flair out of the backfield is Works. Did he get the first down? I think so. True freshman Ronaldo Works out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I don't know now. As we saw the spot down there, maybe he didn't get it. Close enough to bring the sticks from the far side, I think.
Well, Ronaldo Works. He's got the speed. If he takes one of those little short passes, he's got the speed to take it all the way if he breaks a tackle.
The marker on the near side in front of the Oklahoma bench would indicate he didn't get it as you see it there, but
that's not official.
That's not official, so we'll bring the chain gang from the far side. That's why it's not official.
Yeah, they just lay that there just to give you some idea of where it might be.
So Works out of the backfield, as Bob said, great speed. They expect big things from him. And he knew where he had to get and had to put his head right into Cookie Thomas to get there, but he got it at the 30-yard line.
Losing Tay Cody for the night is going to be a big blow. Mickey Andrews says he is their best defensive back by far, and Mickey always plays a lot of defensive backs, says you're always coaching next year's team. So these guys that are in there, Tatum and Samuels, have played some, but not the quality of Tatum. Cody, excuse me.
First and 10. Here's Works inside again. Nice run. Down inside the 25 to the 23. We talked about Tay Cody. He was part of the interception story in the first half. First of all, the hit on Woolfolk. He forced that. His teammate recovered, then the interception that stopped another drive that looked like Oklahoma was going to add points. And Tay, not only a great cover man, but he's the best tackler as a cornerback since Leroy Butler was back in 1989 for Mickey Andrews. So they take away one of their top tacklers and one of their top cover guys with Cody's injury. 8th play of the drive. Here's a pitch to Works. Nice cutback on a piece of turf that flew up inside those hash marks, and he got it down to the 20-yard line. And he had slipping a little bit out there. I don't think he got the first down. Jack, there was a lot of people out there at halftime for that halftime show.
Brad, don't let the green on the field disguise the fact that the turf is coming up in huge chunks. Part of the problem was the wild card game that was played here with the Dolphins in Indianapolis. What they did is they changed the turf out in the end zones and also between the hash marks. It hasn't taken root, and therefore it's coming up in big chunks.
You can see those pieces aside right there in big squares inside the hash marks. And of course the Dolph fans down here don't care if this thing gets torn up or not. They're going out to Oakland to play the Raiders this weekend. And the Micron PC Bowl was played here too, North Carolina State and Minnesota. So
3 games within 1 week.
Yep, that's a lot on one surface. Officials timeout taken with 10-12 remaining in the third quarter. And now we're ready for play. Torrance Marshall is out there offensively.
So hurry up.
And Works got it. And the lead blocker was Torrance Marshall, or at least one of them.
Oklahoma broke the huddle and went to the line of scrimmage, lined up very quickly. And Florida State had to get there and get lined up. Oklahoma picks up the first down.
So Torrance Marshall, their linebacker, who had an interception, is the lead blocker, or one of them, on that power eye that got him a first down. Everybody pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
There is no tomorrow.
Well, you have a month to prepare, so you put in a few of those little wrinkles.
And penalty markers, they whistle this one dead.
Probably a false start on the offensive line.
So just after getting the first down, they backpedal
Prior to the
5.
snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
Oklahoma, as we've seen them do, Bob, all year long, on this drive, get just what they needed. They had 3 third downs so far in this drive: 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 2, and they're getting it by inches.
Yeah, and they're not picking it up by throwing the ball down the field. It's Josh Heupel running it a little bit, going for a third down, getting the first down.
And Works has gotten them one big one on this drive. Still, it's 1st and 15 now. Heupel flares it out. Mackey, he's got a guy draped all over him, Tommy Polley, and he dragged him down to about the 17-yard line.
This offense has got to be driving Mickey Andrews nuts, because they're not throwing the ball downfield. They're throwing the things behind the line of scrimmage, little swing passes, little slip screens, shuttle passes. Nothing further downfield than 10 yards. Guys,
there, that time, even getting a hand on it was Warren, and it still had enough on it to get out to Mackey.
he's got guys there. They're just carrying him for 4, 5, 6 yards.
2nd down and 7, back in the red zone. 11th play of the Sooner drive. Heupel, shovel pass, what Bob was just talking about, but this time Quentin Griffin's going down.
At that time, a 3-man line. Mickey says, I'm going to drop 8 guys back.
So that backs it up to the 20, which is the original line of scrimmage.
They got 3-man line right here. That means you drop 8. Little shovel pass forward. There's a linebacker there, Polley. He saw it.
They're going to have to earn this 3rd down. The fans for both teams know it. 3rd and 11. Heupel buying time. Throws incomplete. Brian Allen covering David Warren with the pressure.
Well, see, that's what you don't want. You don't like the 3rd and long, the 3rd and 10s, the 3rd and 11s, because then they can double everybody downfield, and there was nobody open.
So they'll try another field goal. Tim Duncan has the only points of the night from 27 in the first half. This one will be 10 yards deeper. Fletcher to hold. Duncan's kick looks good.
Oh, that was close. Right over the top of the bar.
No good. That one looked like it was going to hang in there for Tim. By that much, it stays 3-0.
And that opening drive of the second half by Oklahoma took up almost 1/2 of the 3rd quarter.
And again in the red zone, they've hit a field goal, been intercepted, and now missed one. Winkie goes to work. Throwing, and again a piece of turf comes up as you see Nick Franklin, the tight end, sliding. Let's take another look at Duncan's field goal.
This thing is going to go right over the right upright, just outside of it.
You can't get it any closer than that.
No, and you know, this guy doesn't know for sure, so he's going to ask the other guy.
And these 2 guys in the booth didn't know for sure either. First catch by the tight end tonight, Franklin. He's been battling back from injury. There's a good open field tackle, and it's Roy Williams who stops Travis Minor. Roy Williams, sensational player.
He has been, and like we said, he made all-conference Big 12. Was a strong safety. Everybody says he tackles like a linebacker. Well, that's where he's moved up to tonight.
He was a freshman All-American last year. One of his longtime buddies, Damian Mackey, on the offense. Those two kids have been playing together since 6th grade.
Yeah, great story. Came to Oklahoma from California. Came together.
3rd down. 1 of 8 tonight. Winky loads it. Goes incomplete. Pretty nice coverage by Michael Thompson, who went high in the air to at least block the view of Atruz Bell.
Oklahoma's opening drive of the 3rd quarter took up nearly 7 minutes. Florida State comes in, 3 plays and out. Tough throw, tough completion.
JT Thatcher says, just give me a chance. Good looking punt, hangs it up high enough that it's a fair catch again and taken at the 34-yard line. 41-yard kick with no return. 6:33 remaining 3rd quarter. Oklahoma leading Florida State by a field goal. Heupel waits, trying to go to his tight end Smith, incomplete. Third down and long. Heupel in trouble. Flush from the pocket. Has some room in front. Throws downfield. He's got Fagan inside the 30. Curtis Fagan down to the 26-yard line. Biggest play of the ball game for the Sooners.
He makes the play because he buys some time with his legs. He gets outside the pocket, allows Fagan, who's been the hottest receiver for him all year long. He's caught 7 touchdowns the last 7 games. Makes a nice catch. All the way across the field. He wouldn't have had time to do that had he not scrambled to his right side.
Another one of those guys that was a defensive back languishing deep on the depth chart when Bob Stoops shows up, and he, as a wide receiver, makes the biggest play of the ball game so far. Heupel going deep again. Savage is there, and he just overshot it.
He had him.
He was open behind Thomas. It would have been a touchdown, and Thomas is looking over at Derek Gibson as if to say, where was my help?
Exactly. They're talking about it right here. Wide receiver right here, just going to go straight down the field, expecting coverage from the safety, and doesn't get it.
He's alone.
Yeah, this is only the 3rd ball he's thrown down the field today.
Just that close. 2nd down at 10, just inside the 26. Heupel draw play. Griffin ran into his own blockers.
Almost missed the exchange on that one. It was a draw from the shotgun formation, and Josh tried to set up the fake like he was going to throw and almost didn't get back to make the handoff.
With a 3rd down coming up, here's a look at our Morgan Stanley Dean Witter well-connected storyline. Story of the game, the 2 most prolific quarterbacks, or the highest profile quarterbacks in the country this year. One the Heisman Trophy winner, one the runner-up. And while they've hit a lot of different guys, neither's put it in the end zone.
Well, they haven't scored any points, and you're right.
3rd and 10. Josh Heupel flares it out. Luttrell couldn't hold it as fullback.
And he was wide open, too.
And it's 4th and 10. Here comes Duncan again. This field goal is going to have a little bit of length on it.
This was right. He was wide open. He even raised his hand, knew he was wide open.
Hit him in a bad spot.
He caught 10 passes coming into tonight during the season.
Duncan's last one went right over the top of the right upright from 37. This is from 42. That one's going to stay in. It's good. Tim Duncan from 42 yards away. It's still only a 6-point lead and a long way to go. So Duncan, who just hit the field goal, set to kick away. Tallman, Gardner, and Slade Douglas are back, and that's a short kick bobbling around. Douglas picks it up, and he's buried under the 15-yard line. Luttrell, the guy who just dropped the pass out of the backfield, makes up for it with that special teams play.
You can't go that far across the field when it's kicked to the corner. Take a look at this. The possession chart, 8 possessions for Florida State. They haven't had it very long, and they haven't done much with it. They've done a lot of punting, missed a field goal, and threw the interception.
They didn't want that much fancy footwork tonight. We haven't seen Florida State kick that much in a long time.
This is what they need to do. Go back to what they do. Spread it out and throw the football.
Zip it out. Complete. Nice move by Atruz Bell, and down the sideline. See where he went out.
They need to get back to what they do best and go to 3 and 4 wide receivers and use Chris Winkie and use his strengths. If you're going to lose, you may as well go down fighting, and that's what they do best.
Mark Richt in the booth over to our left, the offensive coordinator for another 19 minutes at Florida State. Now he's the head coach at the University of Georgia. Here comes a blitz on Winkie over the middle to Minor. And Minor's going to get dragged down from behind at the 30-yard line by Corey Callens. Let's check in with Lynn.
Well, Brad, one of the reasons why I think we haven't seen this hurry-up offense is because Florida State may not have had a great deal of confidence that the replacement for Marvin Minnis had their assignments down well enough to be able to execute without making mistakes. But right now, they've got to take the chance.
They got to pull the plugs. You're right. And here's Winkie trying to do it again, and he throws it in the ground incomplete.
I think it's a good idea, though. Change the tempo. Things aren't going right on your first 8 possessions. Change the tempo. Go no huddle. They've used this throughout the year. This is nothing new for them.
They're very comfortable with it. As comfortable as huddling, probably. It's the Oklahoma defense that's made them feel a little uncomfortable tonight. 3rd and 6.
Only 1 of 9 third down conversions.
Winkie fires. It is almost intercepted by Thatcher. Looking for his 9th of the year, and he got a hand on it, but he couldn't hold it.
And should have been picked off. Here he is here. He's going to come down, break to the outside, and Thatcher is right there waiting to pick it off. Just cuts right in front of him. He's had 8 picks on the year, and he should have had that one.
He'll probably get his hands on another football right here as the punt returner. Nice kick again, but Thatcher will have a shot at it from the 21. JT looking for some room, found a little crease, and he got up to the 37-yard line, a 16-yard punt return that time. JT Thatcher, who just fielded that punt, almost fielded a Chris Winkie aerial. 6-0 Oklahoma. So far, the Sooners are shutting out the 3rd highest scoring team in the country. Credit Mike Stoops and Brent Venables, the co-defensive coordinators. There's a smile on Brent's face. One of the young up-and-coming coaches, as is Mike Stoops, the younger brother of head coach Bob Stoops. Chris Winkie looking on, waiting for another chance. Right now it's his counterpart, Josh Heupel, who gives it off to Quentin Griffin. And the little fella gets about 5. Stanford Samuels knocked him down. Griffin only about 5'7", if he's that. 193 pounds. Hard to find at times for those defensive linemen.
Yeah, and he's been the main man. He's the leading receiver with 5 catches for 19 yards and the leading ball carrier, having carried it 8 times for 24 yards. So he's the main guy and the shortest guy on the field.
Got on the field in the 8th game of last season, and then finished off with a pretty good bowl victory, a bowl performance, I should say. This is a little bigger bowl than he was in last year, though. Here's Heupel on the run. Josh is mowed under after about a yard gain. I don't know if that one was worth it to have Tommy Polley and company bury your quarterback after a yard gain.
I think that was going to be like a shovel pass or an inverted option. Just kind of blew up on him.
It's been some tough skating tonight for the offenses of Oklahoma and Florida State. Heupel flares it out, dangerous pass, Works made the catch, but a great play by Derek Gibson from his safety position.
Well, they're starting to see that now. Everything that Oklahoma throws is within 10 to 15 yards or behind the line of scrimmage. Gibson just read this all the way.
Both defenses fired up.
I think the way the offense, though, for Florida State is playing, they're going to have to do something, get a turnover or something, get a short field.
Ferguson to punt. Nick Maddox waits on the other end. Snap was a little wide, but Ferguson got it away.
Great kick.
High booming kick. And Maddox fields it and probably shouldn't have. Devontae Jones met him at the 5. What a hit on special teams by Jones. And again, Florida State's going to find that terrible field position they've been playing with for most of the game. At least for most of the last 2.5 quarters.
Tell you, there is no weakness on this Oklahoma team. Their special teams are outstanding. Good punter, good field goal kicker, excellent punt return, and good punt coverage. Devontae Jones from right here in Miami.
And this is where you can ill afford to make a mistake if you're Florida State, backed up near your own end zone again. Chris Wenke knows that. He'll work from the shotgun. Wenke stands tall, fires deep middle, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Javon Walker, and then almost intercepted. And again, if that's Snoop Minnis, that's probably not a drop ball.
Somebody's got to help out the quarterback here. Look from behind the quarterback. It's going to happen from the left side of the screen. Look down the middle. That's what he's looking at. Straight down the middle. He holds that ball, throws it over a linebacker, over Thatcher. Somebody, come on, guys, help us out. Let's go.
Somebody's got to make a play. Now they go back to the I backfield on 2nd and 10, which would indicate play action, but they will run it. And Travis Minor got a couple, but that's it. Jimmy Wilkerson in there to make the stop. Snoop Minnis as a cheerleader doing what he can with the young wide receivers that are out there. The 67th FedEx Orange Bowl's become a slugfest of defense as it's 6-0, the undefeated Sooners of Oklahoma leading the defending national champion Seminoles of Florida State. And here's where Florida State's been living all night. 3rd down and long. Timeout taken by Oklahoma with 38 seconds remaining in the quarter. So Chris Wenke will have a chance to come over and talk things over on the sideline. That's Jeff Bowden he's talking to. Game summary so far. Tim Duncan's field goal looked like it was going to be good, but it was high over the post, no good from 37. But they came back and they gave him another crack from 42, and this one was true. And Bob Stoops says we'll take anything we can get because neither team's getting much.
That's all that's happened in the second half, and what has happened is Florida State has not had the ball. Well, they've had it 3 possessions. This time they backed up inside their own 5-yard line. This is not the Florida State offense that we're accustomed to seeing.
No doubt about that.
They're playing a pretty good defense in Oklahoma.
A team that came in, as you look at the time of possession this half, all Oklahoma. Florida State, a team that came in averaging 549 yards of offense a game.
They're the #1 total offense leader in the nation. They led the nation in passing and 3rd in scoring. They haven't scored a point here tonight.
4 wideouts on a 3rd and 9. When Chris Wenke throws this, he'll be in his own end zone. If he throws it, got rid of it, incomplete. The pressure was too much. He was all the way back by the goalpost when he let go. And it was Devontae Jones who came with the heat.
There's a nice little blitz. Mike Stoops, Brent Venables, the coordinators from the right side. Right there, Devontae Jones was lined up in coverage and snuck inside, put pressure on the quarterback.
That's the 5th 3 and out for Florida State. You just don't see it happen to him. Uncomfortable spot to punt from, and an uncomfortable guy to kick to,
and a team that blocked a lot of punts this year. Well, they didn't come after it.
End over end kick. Thatcher's going to have to let it go, but it is going to roll dead at about the 47-yard line. Bob Stoops, who has embraced the Oklahoma tradition of past years. Barry Switzer's was at his press conference to announce his hiring. He's brought back the likes of Brian Bosworth and Tony Casillas and Keith Jackson and J.C. Watson, all the guys we talked about. There's Boz. But this is not a guy that says, I'm going to build my own thing. He's going to say, somebody else built it, like Barry Switzer. He built it. I want him around as much as possible. And even though he grew up in Ohio, he said, I was always a Sooner football fan. I even painted my own spikes silver so I looked like Joe Washington at one time. So he's bleeding crimson and cream right now. There's Tony Casillas, former Outland Trophy winner, one of the many that have been on the sidelines this year. Heupel zips it down the sideline, intended for Andre Woolfolk, incomplete. But Bob Stoops getting back to the tradition. The Switzer center now has all the Orange Bowl trophies, 11 in all that this team has won in this game. And he says, I'll take that tradition and run with it as much as I can.
You know,
it's very genuine to have Coach Switzer around, to have the great players of the past come around, and I want them to feel a part of the team, and I want our players, and they have, to embrace that tradition, for them to know that you need to play to this level. This is what Oklahoma football is. This is how we play. Oklahoma football is about championships, and we need to play to that level.
The level they're playing tonight is a defensive level we haven't seen this year in a while.
And part of that tradition is coming here to Miami to play in the Orange Bowl. This is their 17th appearance. They've played in the Orange Bowl more than any other team. And part of that tradition is living here in Miami. Billy Vessels.
On the defense.
That's right.
Remains second down.
Billy Vessels, their first Heisman Trophy winner. He lives right here in Coral Gables.
900 and almost 1,000-yard season when Billy.
We gonna bring it home, baby.
Steve Owens won it in '69. Billy Sims won it. Josh Heupel didn't win it, but Josh Heupel has always said, you can take the Heisman and keep it if I can win a national title. Well, his team's only up 6, but they have the lead, and this is the first time in 13 years Florida State has been shut out at the end of 3 quarters. ABC Sports presentation of the FedEx Orange Bowl will continue. Welcome back to ABC Sports presentation of the national championship game, the FedEx Orange Bowl. From Pro Player Stadium at the end of 3 quarters, it's 6-0. Oklahoma leading Florida State to start the 4th, and the last time Florida State was shut out after 3 quarters 13 years ago to Miami and Jimmy Johnson, 31-0. Jimmy went into the Hall of Honor here tonight, the Orange Bowl Hall of Honor. Bobby Bowden has been on headset a lot more than we've seen him in a long time, and he has a quizzical look on his face. His team is down 6-0. Heupel on a keeper. Tommy Polley or Chris Hope? Chris Hope.
That's the first true option they've run down the line, and they saved it to the 4th quarter. And Hope says, hey, don't run that again.
Josh Heupel saying, I hope we don't.
It's a play they ran in the Big 12 championship game late in the game when at a critical time when they needed a first down.
And they got it with Quentin Griffin on the pitch.
And they barely got it, both times on the pitch.
At the 44-yard line, 3rd down and a big one. A big one. Here's that power eye again. And it's going to be very close. I don't know. Maybe not. Looks like he's short to me. Ronaldo Work says he's got it, but the officials with the spot on the field from here certainly doesn't look that way. And it's 4th down. They don't even have to bring the sticks out.
Well, if you have any tricks up your sleeve in your punting game, and I'm sure they do, this would be an opportunity maybe to run one of them, but I don't know.
It'd be a gutsy call at the 44-yard line. Ferguson handles the snap, knocks it downfield. It's going to go out of bounds. Let's see. Not a great kick, but it did stay inside the 20 at about the 19-yard line. Chris Weinke gathers his troops. He's the field general. They're going to need him now more than ever.
Sometimes it's the little things, and for Mickey Andrews, that last series was a very little thing. Why? Because he challenged his defense to hold that team, Josh Heupel's team for Oklahoma State, to a 3-and-out. He told them, fellas, look, we're going to give them very good field position. If we don't hold them with a 3-and-out, it could be costly. Score one for Mickey.
And Jack didn't step on a sprinkler head. It's starting to rain again. Winky off play action, deep out, got it. Nice throw out to the 35-yard line, complete. A 16-yard pickup to Robert Morgan.
Talk about the average starting position. The second half, Oklahoma has started from their own 41. FSU has started from their own 15-yard line. Fourth possession, play action, hits the slot man, down and out. Throw on first down's a great time to throw. As bad as Florida State has looked, they're only down 6.
That's right, it's one
Winkies
play.
just tell them, just one touchdown and we're ahead. It wipes everything out.
First down just inside the 35. Now he throws out again in the flat to Morgan. And this time Oklahoma stays with him, only about a yard gain.
A yard gain. You throw the ball out to a shifty running back way out on the sideline and you get a yard gain. You want to know why Oklahoma is good? Because they can tackle.
Our AT&T game summary looks like this. Nobody running the ball. The passing yardage, Heupel has had to pick away. The total yards is so far below Florida State's norm, it's unbelievable.
But look at the third down conversion.
1 of 11. They got a second down conversion here. 2nd and 9. Winky from the gun. Plenty of time. Pump fakes, wants it all. Going deep down the middle. Nobody home. Atruz Bell is looking for a flag, and he got one.
And should have gotten one.
This will move the football out near midfield.
Yeah, take a look at this one. Top of your screen, go down and in and up. As he starts to run by the defensive back, he just knocks him down. The ball is in the air and Bell gets knocked down. It was a little hook and go, or a little slanting up.
Ante Jones is the guy that ran him over.
The thing that allowed that to happen was the good pass protection, because that took a long time to develop.
Brad and Bob, that's the smartest play a defensive back can make. He knows his defense is playing well. They got him on one play. It looks like it's going to be a sure 6. Knock him down, take the penalty, give your defense another chance to stop him here.
It's only 15, but they're in Oklahoma territory at the 49. Winky comes up, winds up to his tight end Spray, and he goes out of bounds with a first down at the 35. 14-yard pickup. Chris Winky's warming up. While Winky's on the field gathering his troops, Josh Heupel's doing likewise on the OU sideline. And licking his fingers in anticipation of touching that football again soon. We've got 12.5 minutes left. And this is only the 10th play that Florida State has run tonight in Oklahoma territory. First down. Winky, quick throw. And Anquan Bolden went one way, the pass went the other, incomplete. And Bolden's been shut out this second half.
There was a blitz on that time, and Winky read it one way. It looked like it was supposed to be a hitch. Stopped the route. And he went the other way.
Bolden goes out, and it's 2nd down at 10. The Heisman Trophy winner has his back to the wall, but there's a long time to go. Oklahoma showing a possible blitz. Winky pump fakes. Now he's going to go deep again. There's it out there. Incomplete. Robert Morgan. It went through his hands. Derek Strait was there, and it's incomplete.
I'm thinking back a year ago to
Pete Ward,
a Florida State receiver that caught the same pass just like this. It was Peter Warwick that made this catch, and Morgan could have made it and dropped it.
he laid out beautifully, and Snoop Minnis can only look on. He can't help on the field.
Nothing's easy out here. It's a national championship game. Players got to step up and make a play.
3rd down and 10. Long again on 3rd down. That's been the story all night. Winky, play fake. Throws. It is almost intercepted. He threw into triple coverage.
Yeah, you just can't force it. Chris forced that one. He wanted it first down. They may go for it here, and they're just certainly not going to try a field goal.
They're staying on the field. And Bobby Bowden's talking into a headset to Mark Richt upstairs.
Bobby said this would be the first game that a head coach at the University of Georgia is ever calling my plays for me.
Well, Bob and Brad, that was a difficult pass, maybe a pass that Winky should not have thrown, but in any case, Bell should have still gone after the ball. Watch him right here. The ball goes in the air. Watch him give up right there. He just slows down. You cannot do that. You have to keep going after it and prevent the interceptions.
Everybody can think about it for a while, fellas. 12-14 left. Timeout. Pro Players Stadium, where it's still 6-0 Oklahoma. How close has this game been? Try this close. This is Robert Morgan on the last pass play from Chris Wenke. That would have tied the game with an opportunity for Florida State to go up with the extra point. But as Marvin Middis looks on, he knows it's incomplete, and now it's 4th and 10. There's what Florida State has done on 4th down this year, 7 of 15.
They're showing him blitz. Everybody's up within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Here they come. Torrance Marshall blitzing. Wenke pump fakes, lofts it out. It's got a man there, and it's broken up at the very last moment by Derek Strait. Anquan Bolden had a step. You think a defensive head coach doesn't love that?
He underthrew it. There he is here. It's going to go a post. He's going to get a blitz, so he's got single coverage. Straight, number 2 is on him. Single coverage. Throw it down the field and away from it. He underthrew it.
Thatcher got a bump in straight, then went stride for stride with him.
Throw it longer. You're making him wait. Throw it long to the inside. Chris,
now with 12:07 left, Josh Heupel gets to take over.
Yeah, that was a chance. That was a play that he should have made.
Heupel, quarterback draw. Found a little opening. Heupel puts his head down and goes out to the 42-yard line. Chris Hope met him there. Derek Strait's made some big plays. We know about him from the Nebraska game. One of the biggest plays defensively of the season when they were trying to come back in the 3rd quarter. An errant throw by Eric Crouch, and Derek Strait took it all the way to the end zone. And then against Oklahoma State in a 12-7 game, they needed a defensive gem. They got one in the final series by the Cowboys. Knocked it away. Derek Strait huddled around Mike Stoops and Michael Thompson and company right now.
Red shirt freshman Strait is. That ball was underthrown, though. Winky had a shot to go ahead.
Quentin Griffin, I think he got a first down out of the backfield on the flare pass from Heupel. Looks like he got it. That'll keep the chains moving in Oklahoma's favor. They lead by 6 on Tim Duncan's 2 field goals. The 2 highly acclaimed quarterbacks in our Tostitos player comparison. The Heisman Trophy winner on your right, 50% of his passes with no touchdowns. Josh Heupel, 205 yards on a 23 out of 36 night. Hasn't put it in the end zone either, and he's been picked off. That's how good the defenses have been tonight.
And Winky's had a few of them drop.
Heupel out to Norman. Norman got a block. Big fella broke a tackle and got across midfield. That's what he can do so well, is yards after catch, because he gets that big lean going on that 6'2", 230-pound frame, and he doesn't look much like a wide receiver out there.
He was a running back, moved to wide receiver. Steve Spurrier Jr. is the wide receivers coach. Moved him from running back to wide receiver. Moved Savage and Fagan and Mackey from defense to offense. And I was talking to Steve before the ball game, and he says these guys have really caught on and really done what he asked. They've got the speed for it.
There's the expectant daddy, his wife Melissa, bedridden, waiting for triplets. We wish her the best. Here's a flare pass out of the backfield. Works. And Works goes against 3 Seminoles and still got it down to the 45-yard line as we check in with Swanee.
Well, Brad and Bob, you know, Josh Norman, you were talking about him. Spurrier wants him at 232 to lose a little bit of weight. He thinks he's still a little bit too heavy to be a wide receiver. And what you're seeing is a group of young receivers who are going to get better. He has disciplined them on how to run routes. He has disciplined them on how to block, on how to act as a core, as a team. And what's going to happen in the next phase of their evolution is they're going to learn how to be complete receivers. Then they're going to be completely dangerous.
Steve says he's happy just to be Coach Spurrier instead of Bubba or Junior. He's going to have 3 of his own juniors at home by mid-January. Here's Heupel on a 3rd down. Norman was the intended receiver, and he dropped it. And now it's 4th down and a yard and a half. What do you do here, Bob?
Oh, you got to punt it. No question. Make Florida State go the length of the field with that defense. The way your defense is playing, you got to punt it.
It'll bring out Ferguson. Both punters have been busy tonight. Nobody back for Florida State. So they either anticipate a fake punt or they're going to bring the house here. And to the near side it comes, trying to kick it out of bounds. Going to be a pretty good punt. It's going to be better than pretty good all the way down to the 6-yard line. And it's Ante Jones. How many times have we seen him on special teams as well as how well he's played on defense tonight?
It's a solid, sound football. Good coaching, good, solid, sound football. Football, offense, defense, special teams.
Florida State is hoping to enhance their offense, but for the 5th time in this half, they work from their 20-yard line or closer to their own end zone. And again, it's at the 6-yard line. 2nd time that's happened to him. Winkie got him out of trouble with the pass play on 1st down the last time they were deep in their own territory. And did Oklahoma have to take a timeout?
Well, they got the wrong personnel. Florida State ran in from the sideline with 4 wide receivers, and they didn't have the right personnel.
Either that or too many guys out there. At any rate, they'll take a timeout. 76,835 packed into Pro Players Stadium for the 67th FedEx Orange Bowl, and it has been one that the Steel Curtain and the Killer Bees and the Purple People Eaters and the Fearsome Foursome would love. It's all defense tonight. And it's the #1 team in the country now, pinning the defending champions to their own goal line again. Here comes a safety blitz. Winkie over the middle of Morgan. He's draped all over by J.T. Thatcher, who drops him after a short gain. Bobby Bowden, whose team has been here 3 straight years, 4 of the last 5. They won a championship in '93 in the Orange Bowl. They added a Sugar Bowl national championship wire-to-wire undefeated season last year. They're trying to repeat. But on the other side is a 40-year-old coach who's taken a program at Oklahoma and brought it back to the Switzer-Wilkinson level in a hurry. And in his 2nd season trying to win a title. 9 minutes left in the season. Winkie throws in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. And he keeps going to Morgan. And that's the 4th drop ball by the Noles so far tonight. A Heisman Trophy winner with un-Heisman-like numbers,
well,
but you can't blame him there.
You got to have some help. I mean, they're dropping balls. 3rd down, another 3rd down situation. Florida State 1 of 12 on 3rd down conversions tonight.
Well, they were the top team, the 2nd best team in the ACC in that capacity. They'd love to have that 44% conversion rate tonight. Winkie in trouble, got away from one, now scrambling, and the fumble. Oklahoma's got it at the 15-yard line. Another defensive play, and it's Roy Williams.
Huge play.
The safety we've been talking about all night is the guy that comes up on top of the football.
They had a blitz. They couldn't pick it up. They had him right in his face. Over here, from this side over here, there's going to be a safety come in. Right here. He's got nobody on him. Now he pulls it down. Now he gets out of his comfort zone. This is when you get Chris Winkie out of his comfort zone. You can't be doing that. You want him running the football.
Kalmus forced the fumble. Williams recovered. Now it's Heupel. Play action. He's going to keep it. Josh Heupel gets what he can and slides down at the 10-yard line. It was Kalmus from behind, I think, that caused the fumble.
Ante Jones has played big tonight. It's Kalmus, number 20, that knocks it loose.
The runner-up to the Butkus Award that went to Dan Morgan of Miami.
All-American linebacker.
They told us he'd only had 2 tackles before that play. He'll take that one any day. 2nd and 5. Oklahoma just outside the FSU 10. Quentin Griffin, touchdown! Ten-yard draw play, and now the Sooners can smell it. Still 7:46 left, but it's a long road now for the defending champs. Extra point is good. Penalty marker on the play. Quentin Griffin, the little guy who's been used so effectively with the shovel passes and those quick opening draws tonight, and they just drew up a beauty on that last one. Done yet with the extra point. Here's Dick Honig.
Illegal substitution on the offense. 5 yards. Repeat the try.
Illegal substitution, and they'll have to try the extra point from 5 yards further.
The linebackers there should have made the play. They couldn't find him. He's the shortest guy on the field, and a lot of times he gets lost behind that huge offensive line, and he squirted through the hole before they could see him.
So Tim Duncan, who's got 2 field goals tonight and an extra point that he's going to have to try again. The Sooners with the only touchdown of the night. Heupel got him down there, handed off to Griffin, but the man that did the damage was the man that made the tackle and forced the fumble. Rocky Kalmus. 13-0 Oklahoma. Undefeated Oklahoma, 7:46 away from remaining that way and winning a national championship. Bob Stoops troops up 13-0. And now Florida State will have to strike, and strike quickly. The kick is a dandy. Tallman Gardner can do nothing but take a knee.
Let's go back and take a look at the touchdown. The hole is going to be right through here. These are the linebackers that don't make the play. There's the hole. The problem is I don't think the 2 linebackers could see him, could find him behind the offensive line.
What do you think it was like at the Ramkota and Aberdeen Convention Center when Quentin Griffin went straight up the middle?
Griffin is a 5'7", 190 pounds. It's hard to find him.
Now it's up to Chris Wenke. He knows what he's got to do, and he doesn't have much time to get it done.
So he needs 2 scores. They spent 3.5 quarters not being able to get 1 score.
Pumps one way and going deep down the sideline. Got a man open, and it's broken up. Thatcher got there in time. Looked like Walker had it, but Thatcher says And the whole Sooner defense has done that very same thing all night.
Yeah, Thatcher is probably the guy that epitomizes the long struggle and the great success of this Oklahoma program. When he was a freshman, he was a starting running back against Nebraska. He carried 9 times, rushed for 26 yards, and Oklahoma lost 69-7. He never started another game until the beginning of the 2000 season under Coach Bob Stoops.
Good point, Swanee. Wenke pump fakes again, now going deep for Bell. Bell makes the catch inside the 40. So there's the big ball that Florida State needed. Down to the 37-yard line, a 43-yard completion.
The last 2 plays were pump and goes. They were hooks and goes, trying to get the ball deep. They know they need to score quickly.
They go hurry up to the line of scrimmage at the 37. Wenke gonna roll left. Throws at the last minute. And Atrus Bell could not hold on. Torrance Marshall let Winkie have it after he let go of the football.
This Oklahoma defense, Brad, played 12 games during the season, never shut out anybody. They're shutting out the #1 offense in the nation here tonight.
They allowed just 5 fourth-quarter touchdowns in the last 15 games. You think they're going to give 2 up when they've got 7 minutes and 17 seconds to a national championship? They're sure hoping not. Here comes a blitz from the secondary again, and Travis Minor ran right into it. Thatcher again.
That would have been a great time to have a pass on because you can get one-on-one in the secondary. You're not getting much single coverage in the secondary as the rain starts to fall again.
Right now the rain's falling on Florida State's parade. They were hoping for a repeat float. And the float's sinking right now. 6:45 left. 3rd down and long has been the story of the night, and it's 3rd and 13.
Converted 1 of 13 3rd down conversions.
Almost unbelievable. Winkie pumps, going deep down the middle for Bolden. They broke it up, and it's Thatcher again. And Jones again. And it's 4th and maybe a last hope.
Thatcher has played a great ball game.
A guy who was shaken up on a punt return, looked like for a second we didn't know if he'd play again. Boy, has he played again.
Ante Jones was right there, number 11. Those two guys straight. The corner, the redshirt freshman corner has played outstanding. Kalmus, the All-American linebacker. Torrance Marshall. 4th down, Florida State has to go.
Could be the ball game right here. Winkie throws high, tough catch. No, he didn't make it. Travis Minor couldn't hold it. He got turned around. It would have been a very acrobatic catch had he been able to hold it, and he still probably wouldn't have gotten to the 1st down stick. And Oklahoma takes over on downs again. Hoping their offense could do something as Jamal Reynolds looks on. Now he has to take the field and hope that they can come up with a turnover because time is running out.
Florida State was 5th in the nation in taking the ball away from the other team. They've only done it twice here tonight.
Josh Heupel will be careful with the football now with a 13-point advantage. And he'll keep it himself. That's the safest bet. Might not be the most comfortable bet as he's hit at the line of scrimmage by Brian Allen and company. Ken Heupel looking on. Josh's dad, longtime coach, now at Northern State in South Dakota Division II school, but a longtime high school coach who used to drag a kid along with him ever since he was able to walk. Josh was on the sideline at every practice. And there was a night when they were returning home after a loss to a rival, and he taught his son so much about the radar defense. They're driving home. Ken Heupel didn't have anything to say because his team had lost, and all of a sudden his son said from the passenger side, "Dad, you know, in a radar defense, the flats are open." Well, so far the flats have been closed for most teams tonight, but it goes to show you that Heupel and his father have been joined at the hip and the mind. And it's amazing that both these quarterbacks grew up as tremendous Minnesota Viking fans. Josh Heupel's mom had to go out and buy these old lockers for about $5 the night before Christmas, painted them purple and gold, and one says Tommy Kramer and one says Rashad on the other side, and Josh Heupel became the middle part of that locker. Both guys grew up as sports being their biggest outlet, and in Josh Heupel's case, a huge football fanatic who has carried it on a very strange journey to be on top of the football world possibly in a couple minutes. Drop for a loss here with 4:40 left. Dockett and Reynolds got to him.
Heupel's sister is a freshman at the University of Oklahoma. They go to church on Sundays, and then he takes her out to lunch, and then on Tuesday he picks up his laundry.
That's the part I like. Well, Oklahoma's going to have to give it back. But they did use a little bit of clock. That was what they planned to do there. Levi Thomas is counting his guys in front. 17 total punts in the ball game. This will be Oklahoma's 8th. Ferguson making sure that he catches a snap first and then worries about the rest. He keeps it away from Thomas. He'll take it on the bounce anyway, and he's knocked out of bounds. And again, they're going to be working inside their own 20. Ante Jones made the stop on the special teams again. He's been sensational. The Sears National Champion Trophy. And that's a piece of hardware you want to take home with you. And right now, it might be going to the Switzer Center in Norman, Oklahoma. It will be in 3 minutes and 46 seconds if they can hold on and prevent some big plays. But the team that came in as the heavy underdog, the team that came in, though undefeated, maybe unrespected nationwide, has showed the country they belong. And now they're just 3:46 away from showing the country that they're the champs. Wanke from his own 10, had it batted in the air, almost intercepted. Jimmy Wilkerson got a hand on it, and one of the defensive linemen diving for it almost picked it off.
And what the Sooners have done is have had great field position all day long. The hidden yardage that they've done with their special teams, always getting the Seminoles the football back inside the 10-15 yard line, make a long field for them to go.
Out of 15 possessions, 10 times at their own 20 or worse. Wanke over the middle, nice easy throw. Atruz Bell trying to do something with it, but the Sooners won't let him. Derek Strait, Rocky Calmus.
They're not fancy, you don't know a lot of the names, but they play good, solid, sound football. You know, you got all these fancy offenses and defenses in the zone defenses. Give me somebody that can block and tackle. Give me somebody that can come up and tackle when they're supposed to, be where they're supposed to be. That's what this defense does. They make the tackles they're supposed to make.
Third down, and what else? 10. Wanke wants to throw a screen. It's blown up again, and it's Torrance Marshall again. Tonight, they're just too good on defense. Torrance Marshall from right here in Miami, and watch him read this thing. Read it like a comic book, and down goes Travis Minor.
Well, he had coverage on the back, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He was there looking at him, looking for the screen. It came, and he just said, hey, this is like candy.
Another punt upcoming, the 10th of the night for Florida State. Good kick. And Oklahoma doesn't want any part of the football. They just get everybody cleared out of the way, except the official back there. And it's down at the 27-yard line. 58-yard kick. But 2:08 remaining, and Oklahoma's got it back. And the report started surfacing today with the firing of John Cooper that Ohio native Bob Stoops would be contacted by the Buckeyes. Bob Greasy and I talked at length with Joe Castiglione, the athletic director at Oklahoma, before the ball game tonight. Joe told us he has not been contacted about receiving permission for that to take place. He said, we want Bob Stoops around because we feel we've got one of the best programs in the country, and he's compensated better than probably everybody in the country except Steve Spurrier, his mentor. He said, would I decline Andy Geiger being able to talk to him? I suppose I can't, but I definitely would say no if I could.
And I think after this game and this season here tonight, they're going to call him in and says, hey, we want to give you a little bit of a raise.
Brad, Bob, I spoke to Andy Geiger earlier this morning, and I spoke to him just before kickoff. He says that he has not contacted anyone, and he has not contacted or attempted to contact Bob Stoops. He said the plan is tomorrow he is meeting with an advisory committee that consists of he, Archie Griffin, 2 football players that have eligibility remaining, and 2 members of the faculty. They will go over a list of names, put forth names from that point, and then they'll make a decision. But I believe they're going to try and have to make a fast and quality decision because Ohio State has about 24 recruits that will be coming to campus this weekend to consider that school. In addition, they spent all day long in the last couple of days calling the recruits who have pre-signed with Ohio State, trying to reassure them that they're going to do the right thing and hoping they'll keep their commitments to Ohio State University, Bob and Brett.
Well, we bring it up because journalistically we feel we have to, because we know many of you have heard the rumors or heard the reports that have surfaced today. Quite frankly, does it belong in a game when your shining moment as a head coach is about to be your first national championship? Probably not. And right now they're 159 away from it.
And I think if you ask Bob Stoops about it after the game, he just would want to enjoy this moment.
Absolutely.
And why not? They started out at number 20 at the beginning of the season. In October, they beat the number 1 and number 2 teams and Texas, who was ranked number 10. Nobody gave them any respect coming into this ball game. There were 12, 13-point underdogs coming in. But like Bob Stoops says, if we listen to the odds makers, we'd been 7-4 this year.
Heupel on a keeper, fakes it, keeps it himself, and gets out to the 35-yard line. And the clock becomes the enemy to Florida State. And Oklahoma's defense has been just a little bit better than Florida State's.
The defense has been here. The Heisman Trophy winner and the runner-up have played with the Heisman Trophy winner. Didn't get much help. He didn't have many receivers catching the ball for him. Heupel did a pretty good job of throwing the ball short, just doing what he had to do, not making the mistakes, kicking 2 field goals, and then taking advantage of a fumble by Winky down deep in the Florida State's territory. 15-yard touchdown. That's the only touchdown of the ball game.
It'll be a rebuilding year next season for Florida State. Bob has already mentioned how many seniors go out, and when you lose a guy like Chris Wenke and so many more, it'll be a different year, but you can bet they'll be good again.
Well, they lose 7 off their offense, plus their 2 quarterbacks, top 2 quarterbacks, and their offensive coordinator.
3rd down and 2. Florida State stops them. No gain on the play for Ronaldo Works. But the clock winding down to 1:40 and counting. I want to thank all the folks that helped us all season long. Best spotter in the country is Clint Deans, and the best statistician is Pat McGrath. Our sideline coordinator, Dick Shafter, technical operations manager Jay Gleason, and Randy Joseph. Our production managers Mike Heskett and Judy Wise. Computer stats by Anthony Holman and Craig Rothberg this year. Our college football researchers keep us abreast of everything. Ben Kieberman and Rich Kamala. Assistants to the producer John Coral, Charlie Vanacore, Jason Javicchio, Marvin Watson, and Jeff Define. Technical directors Brad Sheldon and Kevin Bierman. Our associate producers Praven Martin and Derek Mobley. And another punt coming up. High snap over the Ferguson's head. And he's now going to run back.
Smart move.
And take a safety. That is a brilliant move by the punter.
Smart move. Can you believe it? You got the game. There's a minute left to go, and the snap goes over. What if he hadn't gotten in the end zone here? This is a great move by the punter.
If he wouldn't have gotten in the end zone, Florida State would have had a 1st and goal. If he would have let them get to the ball first, it would have been a touchdown.
Exactly. Great move.
Well, he's punted enough tonight to be on the field and know what to do, I guess.
He got the bounce to pick it up. And so often you'll see the ball bounce funny, and the punter will not be able to pick it up. That's just a very smart move.
Heads up. Everything they've done tonight's been pretty heads up. And the junior punter from Tulsa, Oklahoma just came up with a heads up play. But now
that avoids the shutout.
Yes, it does. There it goes.
Allows them to punt the football. And looks like they're going to win their 7th national championship. They won 3 under Barry Switzer and 3 under Wilkinson.
Yep. 3 in the 50s when they dominated and put together a 47-game winning streak. And then Barry Switzer in 74, 75, and again in 85. And now the crowning jewel to just 2 seasons of reigniting the Sooner magic in Norman for Bob Stoops is only 55 seconds away. Here's the free kick. The punt takes a funny bounce. Gardner and Bolden trying to get down and find the handle. And out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. Our other associate producers, Bill Bolin and Mike Martin. Associate directors, Vince D'Addario and Fred King. Our studio director, Calvin Haywood. Studio producer, Tim Wyckoff. Tonight's game was directed by Chip Dean. And produced by Jay Rothman, who we wish the best in his future endeavors. The coordinating producer of ABC's College Football is Bob Goodrich. Our director of production, Bob Times. The executive producer of ABC's College Football is John Filippelli. And the executive producer of ABC Sports is Howard Katz. The season that started in August has come down to 54 seconds. And the Heisman Trophy winner, who won a national championship last year, his possibility of a repeat is about to go by the boards unless he can pull a miracle out of his hat. Wenke on a throw. And the ball complete out to the 38-yard line. So that stops the clock. 47 seconds left.
Oklahoma just playing a prevent, soft defense. Just keep everything in front of them. Who would have thought it, huh? Coming in.
Unbelievable. Chris drops and fires to Bolden, and he makes the catch. Anquan, nice stop move. Got another first down out of bounds at the 46-yard line with 39 seconds left. Florida State out of timeouts. So Bob Stoops, who was defensive coordinator at Florida, 4 times matched up against Florida State as a coordinator and went 2 for 2.
2 and 2.
2 and 2, and the all-important one is right here. Just inside the 45 of the Sooners. Wenke. Deep out. Nobody there. Atruz Bell, the closest man. Bob talked about it earlier. When you start August and you're number 20, nobody expects you to make it to January 3rd of 2001 and be number 1. But that's where they're going to be in a half minute.
And it looks like the Miami Hurricanes, in their hope of being a split national champion with a Florida State win, will probably end up number 2.
Second down and 10. Wenke, plenty of time, but a lot of guys in coverage back there, and though it's complete, he's kept in bounds and dropped. They'll move the sticks. It'll temporarily stop the clock at the 31-yard line to Atruz Bell. Josh Heupel, there's going to be a big smile on that young man's face pretty soon. He's pretty businesslike, but I know he'll break into one as he did at the end of the Big 12 championship. Josh Heupel, not the same kind of numbers we saw maybe in that run in October where he put so many great games together, but he'll take 25 out of 39, and more importantly, he'll take win number 13. So the final 24 seconds of the national championship game. Wenke going to throw deep to the end zone. He's got a man out there, and Gardner, and it's intercepted. Picked off, and it's Monte Jones. What a game this kid has had.
He came home to Miami, and he had the game of his life.
And now you can let the celebration begin. So here's what's happened all night long, Bob, and that's great defense and a defensive secondary that just wouldn't give in.
Well, Chris has got nothing else to do. Just throw it up and hope you get a miracle. One of your guys catch it, but Ante Jones, number 11, has had a great ball game.
You know, we've been around Oklahoma enough this year to be around Bob Stoops and his staff enough, as he just got drenched, and now there's his younger brother, Mike, and he calls Brent Venables the other Stoops brother. But you know, that confidence and enthusiasm those young guys have just sort of drips all over everybody, and it dripped all over this team.
It really did, and I like what he said to the team after the game, after the Big 12 game. He says, remember, he says, be respectful of your opponent and be humble. Say we and not I, and it's a team thing, and it really is. The way they play, it's a team thing.
The champions of the 67th FedEx Orange Bowl are the still undefeated and now finally respected Sooners of Oklahoma. Championship number 7. Dominant in the 50s, the mid-70s, and another in the mid-80s, and now and one for the ages here in 2001. Bob Stoops reigniting the flame of Sooner magic in just 2 seasons. A quarterback who came from South Dakota to South Beach. What a story.
This is one of the youngest staffs in all of college football.
And they're only going to get better as a staff.
Chuck Long is the quarterback coach. Steve Spurrier Jr., Bobby Jack Wright, Mark Mangino, Mike Stoops, Brent Venables, Cale Gundy, Jonathan Hayes, and Jackie Shipp.
Great job. And now the emotion of what has taken place, catching up with some of the Sooners. And Josh Heupel has told us you can always tell when my dad is excited, because when he hands out the high fives, sometimes I have to use my right hand instead of my left, or I'll never be able to pass again. I'd make sure it was my right hand, Josh, if I was you, when you get together with Dad. And J.T. Thatcher, who was dinged up early in the ball game, came back, played sensationally. So did Ante Jones. And right down the list, Roy Williams, who played a lot of linebacker, looked tonight. Kalmus and Marshall, who had several big plays tonight in his hometown of Miami. And Bobby Bowden's hope for a repeat goes by the boards, but that doesn't take away from another sensational season in Tallahassee.
He'll finish in the top 4 of the AP poll again this year for the 14th straight year.
They won the first national title at Florida State, and the Orange Bowl had to hit a field goal to beat Nebraska. They were a heavy favorite over the Cornhuskers. History has somehow repeated itself with another team from the Big 12. This time Oklahoma, the heavy underdog. But it is another Boomer championship season. Well, Bob, it's been fun. It's been a great year.
Great year, and it's a great team. I think that the champion is being crowned the champion.
Jackaroots with Bobby Bowden, as always, gracious even in defeat.
Bobby, can you describe the feeling right now?
I was trying to think on the sideline what it was like. It reminded me of a nightmare. I mean, you know, sometimes you wake up and you say, gee, I hope that doesn't happen to us. That's not the way I felt.
Can you categorize what the problems were tonight?
Simply could get nothing going offensively. Now, they did a great job of confusing us defensively. We never could get the pattern on what they were doing. They blitzed at the right times. I would say he made all the right moves tonight, and we couldn't get it going off. Our defense played probably good enough to win the ball game. We wouldn't have had to gamble down here to get them their first touchdown the way our defense is playing, but offensively, we simply could not get anything going. Nobody would make big catches that we needed, to keep things going.
Well, regardless, Coach, congratulations on a great season.
Well, it was a good season, but we were lousy tonight.
Guys?
So the Heupel family, one of the many families in Norman, Oklahoma, or fans of the team from Norman, Oklahoma, elated with what's gone on here tonight as Bob Stoops, in his second season, has taken a quarterback, made him into a leader, taken a team that believed, and won it tonight to win the national championship. 13-2 is the final score.